switch your whole army against my team, and I guarantee you it'll be your very last time breathing. You switch your whole army against my team, and I guarantee you it'll be your very last time breathing.
Part of a investigation they were doing into this spa called Orchids of Asia Day Spa in Jupiter, Florida, where a couple of women were arrested earlier this week. This is according to our Miami station WFOR. It was among 10 different spas in Orlando, Palm Beach County, and the Treasure Coast that were busted after a several months-long investigation. If it turns out that these women are part of a human sex trafficking ring, does that factor into the charges or not?
It probably wouldn't factor into his charges, but, you know, it should factor into our thinking about it because, you know, this is a whole operation that functions on multiple different levels. And even at the level of the people who are coming in and patronizing these places, you are supporting a broader criminal activity that can be incredibly destructive to these women's lives.
All right, so because this news is breaking, we already have a statement from a spokesperson for Robert Kraft, and he or she says this, that they categorically deny that Mr. Kraft engaged in any illegal activity. Because it is a judicial matter, we will not be commenting any further. This, of course, this charge, according to WFOR, comes amid a widespread crackdown on sex trafficking in the surrounding area of Palm Beach County. About 200 arrest warrants have been issued in recent days, and more are expected. So what happens next for him?
Well, I mean, there will
typically,
right? Typically, I mean, typically there'll be conversations now between the defense attorney and the prosecutor, and either he will change. You know, he will then there will be an arraignment, and he will enter a plea, and either he will plead not guilty or he will plead guilty. Most likely, he'll plead not guilty, and then there'll be continued negotiations. But in a case like this, if there is video evidence, my guess is he will plead guilty and negotiate some kind of agreement with the prosecutor.
So he's, according to WFOR, on a list of 25 people who will face charges in connection to this crackdown. There's some details here that WFOR is reporting, and we'll share that once we have the videotape ready. The police officials talking about this as well. But he was driven to the spa by a chauffeur. The average cost per visit for services at this spa, according to police, is $59 to $79 an hour. He's apparently going to receive a notice in the mail if he lives in Palm Beach County, and then he would receive that warrant for his arrest. So then he goes before the judge, pleads guilty or not guilty, and then what?
Well, then either he proceeds to trial, or he, you know, if he negotiates a plea, then there will be a sentencing, and he'll proceed to his sentence, which, you know, either he will negotiate a short jail time, or more likely some kind of probation community service.
You know, it's so interesting because there have been a number of sting operations in this country, in this city, and in others that are trying to prevent women from being trafficked and being used in sexual servitude, essentially, at some of these spas where they're working. And it's not easy because you're dealing with people who are coming from long distances, great distances, where they've probably paid people to get them to the United States. And then they have to work that off. And generally, the only way they can work it off is by providing sex services.
Right.
And so when you realize that the police are alleging that he engaged in these acts of solicitation, it sort of is kind of depressing to know that somebody, a man of his great wealth and stature, would resort to doing something that is so heartbreaking to the people who are engaged in these and working in these spas.
Right. I mean, that's the tragic thing. The criminal law, you know, plays a sort of small part. And you know, here, you know, they break in at this moment, but there's already been so much and so many lives have been affected by this. And, you know, I'm sure that what happens is that people, when they engage in this kind of activity, they sort of compartmentalize and they don't think about the broader implications of what they're doing. But when, you know, you look at the full picture, you can see how many lives are really ruined by the fact that these kind of criminal syndicates can keep continuing and go on.
Is there any way to, I mean, it is sort of stunning. On one hand, you have people that will say that prostitution should be legalized in this country across all of the 50 states. Others say, you know, the fact that these are misdemeanors means that you will continue to have people. So in other words, you're breaking the law, but it's a slap on the wrist. So it should either be a real, you know, if you're going to be caught soliciting prostitution, there should be some real consequences, or you should remove the consequences absolutely and just make it legal like they have in some European countries. For example, in France, they regulate it. The government regulates it. They make sure that the women are not trafficked. They make sure that the women receive regular medical checkups. Same thing in the Netherlands. How do you see it playing out? Just from a jurisprudence standpoint, could we change the law to make it a heavier fine, a heavier, maybe even perhaps a jail sentence? Yeah, I mean, America doesn't do things like the Netherlands. We're a very punitive country, and we use our criminal laws in a way to do things that other countries use social services for. I think we're moving in the direction with criminal justice reform toward using social services more. I don't know whether we'll ever get to the point of legalizing prostitution or something like that, but at least it's good to keep our eye on what the actual, you know, the actual goal here, which is to protect the victims. And the victims of these crimes are the prostitutes themselves, who have no choice but to enter into this kind of work. And so, you know, I think sometimes the criminal law doesn't know quite what to do because they end up criminalizing those women, and that's certainly not doing anything to help their lot. While, yes, of course, they're engaging in criminal activity, they also are themselves the victim of these broader syndicates of criminal activity. Indeed, and you and I were just talking earlier about a heartbreaking story that was written by Dan Barry in the New York Times in October of this year. If I recall, the title was, you know, the life and death of Jane Doe Ponytail, and it was about the life of this sex worker in New York City, in Queens, New York, who police believe committed or took her own life when she was fearing arrest. As police were actually making their way up into this spa, which is in Queens, which is still operating, she decided to take her own life rather than face the consequences of going to jail and the humiliation and the struggles of that. And as you point out, Rebecca, that is, you know, where we are right now, which is that, you know, we don't want to criminalize the women who are themselves victims of this system. And yet, you know, here you have an enormously wealthy man who police allege is involved in these in this solicitation. You know, the average cost for service is $59 to $79 according to police. He was driven to the spa, according to our station in Miami, by a chauffeur. And basically, no matter how it goes, guilty or not guilty, is going to ultimately end up in a slap on the wrist. Right, exactly. I mean, and that's just another reason why the criminal law is sort of so poorly suited for this. And you really need prosecutors who are very, very smart about their charging decisions, because you need to go after people who, first of all, I mean, this is a case that's going to have a lot of coverage, and there's going to be a broad deterrent effect. And I think that's really, you know, that could have a really positive outcome, as opposed to going after these young women who really have no choice in the matter. And that story, it was a really poignant image of just that, what happens when you go after the sort of the wrong person who's committed a crime, but really isn't the most culpable of the people out there. Indeed. Okay, if you're just joining us here on CBS and CBS News, the news out of Florida, the owner of the New England Patriots, Super Bowl winning Patriots, Robert Kraft, has been charged in a prostitution sting. Mr. Kraft's name is on a list of 25 people who will face charges in connection to a crackdown that police have been on several months of a human trafficking and sex spa acts in the area. According to our station, WFOR in Miami, Mr. Kraft was driven to the spa by a chauffeur. He will be charged with misdemeanors and will have to appear in court at some point. We're going to continue to dig into the story. We'll have much more coverage on the other side of this break. For now, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Some breaking news right now out of Jupiter, Florida. Police there have just announced that the owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft, has been charged with soliciting prostitution.
On the list, can you confirm for us that that name is the high-profile individual and professional sports franchise owner that we believe it to be? And could you please speak to that name and that situation?
Yes, sir. He is one of the individuals.
Name who he is.
That would be Mr. Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots?
Yes, sir.
And what is he being charged with?
He's being charged with the same offenses as the others, and that is soliciting another to commit prostitution.
And how many counts may he face?
Right now we have 2.
So that would be 2 separate incidences or visits to the Orchids of Asia day spa, or 1 visit with multiple charges from that 1 visit?
2 different visits.
What are the charges?
Again, that news conference wrapping up a short time ago. We should note NBC News has reached out to the New England Patriots for comment. No word back just yet from them. Kerry Sanders is following this case. He is there in Florida. He joins me now on the phone. Kerry, what more do we know?
Let's talk about the details specifically of what it is that the police have alleged has been going on for months now in this region of South Florida. They have been investigating, and these are multiple police agencies, have been investigating massage parlors where they allege that women were duped in China into believing that they were coming to the United States for legitimate jobs. They got here to the United States primarily through New York and wound up in Florida in these massage parlors where they essentially were never allowed to leave the massage parlors, and that they were duped into becoming sex workers. And by no choice of their own, it's alleged, they began having to service folks who came in, and as a result, they never left, slept on the same tables where they performed their alleged duties, and then went on the back steps of these strip malls where they were and did their cooking. And one of the biggest challenges, of course, was that they did not speak any English, and so they didn't know who they could reach out to for help. The authorities say that they have been with security cameras and surveillance, watching people come and go for weeks on end, that they have that evidence. And as you heard at the news conference, they alleged one of the people of the 171 arrest affidavits that are out there, one of them is Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots.
Thank you for having me.
All right, stunning news coming out of Jupiter, Florida. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft has been charged as part of a sex trafficking sting in the state of Florida. He has not been arrested, but he is one of 25 people who will be charged as part of a bust at a massage parlor. Jupiter police explained the evidence that they had just a short time ago.
That would be Mr. Robert Kraft.
Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots?
Yes, sir.
And what is he being charged with?
He's being charged with the same offenses as the others, and that is soliciting another to commit prostitution.
And how many accounts may he face?
Right now we have 2.
So that would be 2 separate incidences or visits to the Orchids of Asia day spa, or 1 visit with multiple charges from that 1 visit?
2 different visits.
What are the charges?
Again, I'll repeat, soliciting another to commit prostitution.
All right, CBSN legal contributor Rebecca Roife joins me now to talk about this. Rebecca, stunning news out of Florida.
It is.
When we take a deep breath, it's the ocean that produces more than half of that.
What astonished me was how many individuals were involved in assisting with this abuse, whether they participated in it or just allowed it to occur by helping enable it. So I call that the army of abusers, because I really see that not only did they assist with it, but then they assisted later to keep these girls quiet.
I'm gonna press pause on Jeffrey Epstein real quick and start with the intro, because we're gonna talk about R. Kelly, but we're gonna go back to this Jeffrey Epstein video as well.
Yeah. Dead in the middle of little did we know. I'm serious about mine. I'm so sincere.
Now at last I have seen a judgment of Solomon.
And this is
Thought Crimes.
What you talking about, Willis?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
I only have one question. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I run shit here. You just live here.
I want to sing y'all a brand new song I just wrote called Don't Trust Them New Niggas Over There.
Now don't be a Negro, be my nigga. All right, help me out.
Hold on. I ain't nobody's nigga.
Well, I mean, you somebody's nigga wearing this nigga top.
Bitch ain't no legend. I'm the legend in this motherfucker. You can't be no legend and you 5 fucking years old. This motherfucker just called somebody a legend. Oh my.
We'll do it live. No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
What business are you in?
I make my bread and butter. I'm pushing.
What business are you in?
I make my bread and butter. I'm pushing.
What business are you in?
I make my bread and butter.
Welcome to Thought Crimes, baby.
That's right. Welcome to Thought Crimes, everybody. Of course, this is your man, Prince Solomon.
And this is your girl, Sincere.
It looks like here today is a very busy day. There are a lot of stories breaking right now pertaining to sex traffickers. And we just got word, shouts out to the think tank in the chat room, that R. Kelly has been charged as well in the Cook County situation with I believe it was 2 counts. Well, they said 10 counts. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, 10 counts. That's correct. 10 counts.
And then also at the same time, as you all have seen with the previous video footage, we saw with Robert Kraft being busted in a massage parlor, participating in a sex trafficking ring as well. And then now information about the deal that was cut with Jeffrey Epstein, and also what had taken place with current Trump cabinet administrator Alexander Acosta, who was then the U.S. attorney for Miami. And again, a lot of bullshit coming out of Florida, because remember now, the Robert Kraft situation is taking place in Florida as well. And then we had to go back to disgusting ass Jeffrey Epstein, who did participate in underage human trafficking, minors, young girls as young as 14 as well. So now Alexander Acosta, who will more than likely have to leave the Trump administration like many of his cronies as well. So this has been a very interesting day. Looks like a lot of things are happening right now.
Look, this is the thing that we told y'all about before we played the R. Kelly situation. Fuck all these dudes. Some people are trying to make it about gender because I guess some people get insecure and they think because somebody else has a dick, that dick reflects them. It's all bullshit. Sex trafficking is a huge industry, over $50 billion, majority women and kids. And that's why we said, for those who were making it about race, even when they was talking about the Me Too, the Me Too's only getting black men, perverts and predators who didn't even give a fuck about y'all anyway, right? Even though Kevin Spacey is going through trial, even though Weinstein is going to trial, the investigation on Jeffrey Epstein has been actually going on for a couple years, and they finally got a headway. So more than likely, his ass is going to be brought to trial because they're
looking to reopen the plea deal.
Yeah, because they cheated the system to even get him the plea deal where he had served 13 months in county jail.
Historically,
right?
The most lenient punishment given to a repeated habitual underage sex offender again. And what happens now, people are pushing for the plea deal to be reopened, reconsidered, and retrialed in that situation because, again, Alexander Acosta actually withheld the confession from the 30-plus girls or the 30 girls who said Epstein had abused them. So now that same individual, Alexander Acosta, is now in the Trump cabinet. So that's what we were saying about Donald Trump and his cabinet. And also Jeffrey Epstein was a good friend of his, just like Jeffrey Epstein was a good friend of Bill Clinton as well. Again, there's a lot of power at the top. A lot of things are going on. And a lot of people are being abused. And regardless of what some of the people are getting hung up on, it's bigger than race. It's bigger than, oh, they're going after black men or somehow they're embarrassing the black community. It has nothing to do with anything. Absolutely. It's more people who have in common with each other power that are circumventing the system.
Don't be a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass and think that the deep state just cares about you based only and solely on race. Yeah. Sex trafficking is their bread and butter. Politicians, people in the entertainment industry, sports, right? What people who are middle class, working poor, the mistake they make is trying to play teams when it comes to perverts trafficking your children and also putting women into forced slavery, sex slavery, because the difference between escort, for example, right? An escort is someone that's supposed to actually choose this life, someone who's an adult, someone that actually gets medical services, right? Sex trafficking, 9 times out of 10, the person is actually forced into that lifestyle. They're duped into that lifestyle. You know, so it's very important for people to comprehend and understand this, and it's not a joke. You have a lot of powerful people in this country that are a part of some of the biggest sex trafficking rings in this country, in Atlanta, in Miami, in Houston, all throughout this country.
All right, so what I want to do, I want to focus on the specifics because people have heard us speak on this in the general, plenty of streams. But let's get to the specifics as what's really going on here. All right, so Jeffrey Epstein's dusty ass is back in the news again. Some people may be asking why. Well, now it has been confirmed that they had basically circumvented the law and actually protected Jeffrey Epstein. That is the reason why he did get 13 months, as Sin stated a little bit earlier. Also, what has come to find out for a lot of people who didn't know, that Kenneth Starr, I don't know if you all are remembering Ken Starr, the one who went after the president, Bill Clinton, because of the whole Monica Lewinsky situation. Remember, Ken Starr presented to Congress, these are the reasons, basically a soft-core porn novel, as why we should unseat a sitting president, then Bill Clinton, right? So he went on this whole spiel about, you know, women's rights and rape victims and how he's dishonoring the Oval Office. Then come to find out, Ken Starr, with this frog face that he is, had been basically helping protect Jeffrey Epstein. Now, mind you, Ken Starr, again, he made or came to prominence nationally for pursuing the president of the United States at the time, one Bill Clinton, for an impeachment, even though Bill Clinton wasn't removed from the office itself. But Ken Starr had been involved in other situations. Matter of fact, when he was over there at Baylor University, he, along with the coach there, it slips in my mind at this time, what had happened, they had been protecting students who were sexual and repeated sexual violators. There was a program instituted that was an unspoken code, an unwritten code to protect sexual predators who happen to be prominent students or coming from prominent families. So here you have Ken Starr, who also assisted in making sure that Jeffrey Epstein only got 13 months. Now, we're bringing all of this up to let you all know that there is a circle of power, as we did with the documentary, as we will continue to bring you that information, that there is a circle of power. It denotes race once you get to a certain level. R. Kelly was a part of that Hollywood socialite circle of power. For all of you low-class citizens, all of you cannon fodders that was saying, oh, he's a black man, R. Kelly has nothing in common with you except skin complexion. There's nothing he sees in common with you. What happened is that right now R. Kelly has lost steam. He's not economically viable for a lot of people. So, of course, they're pulling the ripcord on him. Remember now, I want you all to pay attention. Remember how all of the celebrities backed away. Sin and I, we did speak to the public. We did our research. We came up to some conclusions. And we say, you know what? R. Kelly's not going to make it through 2019. His celebrity is not going to make it through 2019.
Yeah, and before you try to, some people, it wasn't everybody, but a lot of people tried to Alex Jones us in January when we talked about the underage tapes that were out in Chicago. And now those tapes have arisen to the media and also to the police and the court system.
Exactly, Sin. You're absolutely right. And so here's the thing about it. You all have to understand what chess is. For those who partake in the sport itself, basically a lot of these guys are dirty. Okay? A lot of these guys are dirty. What happens is power is being played behind the scenes. Remember what Donald Trump made sure he said publicly, that he was going to deal with Robert Kraft. That doesn't make Robert Kraft an innocent victim, and it doesn't make Donald Trump a good guy. Everybody's dirty.
We said it before. Everybody's dirty in that industry. Like, who gives a fuck about Meek Mill? Meek Mill is a rapper. Nothing against the dude. Nothing has come out yet about him for us to really go at him. But that is completely irrelevant.
It's very lowbrow thinking.
It's like it's gang members coming after each other. It's like gang members who, let's say, if they're selling children, but you're gonna say, oh well, that gang member is better because they hung out with a rapper that I like. No, it has nothing to do with that. They are connected to sex trafficking. These people. Yeah. It's a circle of power. It's an industry, a dark market industry. They even have, you see, even with the Robert Kraft situation, he went into a spa. There's even some restaurants, some spas, some companies where the forefront of the company seems like it's something regular, but you go further into the facility, you find out that is either drug trafficking or sex trafficking there.
Yeah, what it is basically it's what they call it. You've seen it in pop culture. They reference these spas. They say, "Oh, would you like a happy ending?" Yeah, man, I went to the spa and they gave me a happy ending. I've been around some businessmen and they were some disgusting motherfuckers. I'm talking about all of the ones that the Negroes call in and they're all afraid of because they got lily white hair. They were disgusting, mole-faced, liver spot motherfuckers. I've been around them and they openly discuss this shit. It's a very disgusting industry. So the whole point is I want y'all to understand what we're saying here, the reason why we shouldn't get so wrapped up in race. Now, if you're talking about your homeboy across the street, you guys have more in common. The neighbor you don't speak to across the street, you guys have more in common than R. Kelly. So let's go to one O.J. Orenthal Simpson, right? Remember when black people were getting all booted and suited for O.J. Simpson? It was a victory. O.J. Simpson, the black man, right? O.J. Simpson was another knucklehead in the circle of power. He was deemed a good Negro, but nonetheless, he was in the circle of power. Not as high up as, say, a Jeffrey Epstein or Robert Kraft, but definitely in the circle of power, sitting at the tables. A lot of these guys have conversations with each other. So one of the people whose name has fallen out of the situation with Jeffrey Epstein, not only Alexander Acosta himself, but also, again, Kenneth Starr, who is a fucking hypocrite. All right? Turns out he has made the latter half of his career defending sexual predators. But also, they have another fella, a disgusting liver-faced bastard by the name of Alan Dershowitz. Now, here's interesting about Alan Dershowitz, right? When he chooses to associate himself with certain clients, I'm just throwing out a couple names out there. In '96, he was an advisor to the legal team for O.J. Simpson, right? I mean, I know everybody saw Johnny Cochran, but Mr. Alan Dershowitz was in the background. Remember now, O.J. Simpson, Johnny Cochran became popular because he said, if it does not fit, you must acquit, and he was a nigga with a mole on his face. And everybody thought it was tight, so he trended all up and down the pop culture stratosphere. But remember, O.J. Simpson had a power team. Now, there's some Negroes who was champion for O.J. Simpson and couldn't make bail if their life depended on it.
They championed Kim Kardashian father,
right?
A future Trump cabinet, a future guy who also helped Jeffrey Epstein get a nice little plea deal for sex trafficking underage girls.
Thank you very much, Emma Ecstasy, and you're right, baby sin. Now, Alan Dershowitz was the mastermind of OJ's defense team. So this is what happens. I want you people to understand about reading. Let's get off of YouTube philosophy and like go back and read. I don't care. Go to Wikipedia. I don't care. Go online. Pick up a Britannica. All right. So Alan Dershowitz was associated with the defense team, the legal defense team of OJ Simpson. Then also in 2008, Jeffrey Epstein. And then 2018, guess who shows up for Harvey Weinstein? Alan Dershowitz. Now, for all of the no-tips out there, because I don't want to disrespect the origin of the word O-tip. It's a beautiful word. It comes from a beautiful committed culture. We understand that. But for all of those no-tips out there, how is it that a black man in 96 is able to get the same type of defense lawyer, or at least seek his counsel? And we know lawyers charge, especially defense lawyers, charge a lot per hour. How is he able to still be in the same circle of power with the likes of a Jeffrey Epstein and a Harvey Weinstein despite being black? So that's what we're saying. When people said they came after us, and we don't want to, we crying. We don't want to sound like no bitches, but we're just using ourselves as an example. But there's other people who have been saying R. Kelly's very disgusting. And some of the tropes that people were using against those people who made sense was saying, well, you're part of the white feminists.
Yeah, thank you. Dream Hampton and the black women that were trying to save black girls were somehow white feminists because you had a lot of insecure fucking people online that made it about them and them being afraid of white people making them the face or whatever. It's like, stop with the bullshit right now. Either you care about the children in your community or you don't. And that should mean any predator, whether it's police brutality, the school, the prison pipeline, people within the community and outside of the community, selling children in the community. So it should be something across the board 100, not cherry picking.
So, seeing you're right, and this is why we're contextualizing all of this. Again, we're still in the very Masonic Black History Month. Mind you, Robert Kraft was walking around with the Meek Mill chain, and then boom, here we go. But we know for a fact, we said in previous live streams, that more than likely Robert Kraft is going to run into some issues. And again, that's not to say he's a good guy. We're talking about based on strategy. When you're watching two opposing armies going at each other, you're not going to say which army is completely good and innocent and which army is completely bad. You're looking at the game of war. And so what you're seeing in this circle of power is repeatedly civil war.
Yep.
That's what you're seeing. They said something. Robert Kraft came out earlier, towards the midsection of the last year, lambasting Donald Trump, going in on him, and then look at him now. Also, shouts out to the people who are listening to us on Periscope as well. We are on Periscope. We also are streaming on Facebook. Shouts out to the brother Renard, who also put up that information about R. Kelly being charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. And also shouts out to Rogers on Facebook as well. As we continue on to break this down, we want to take our time and break all of this down with the specifics, of course.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to actually play a clip that you sent me, Prince, of the R. Kelly situation, because we're going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kraft, and also right now 10 counts that R. Kelly will be facing. So let me press pause real quick and let's listen to that right now.
Reports tonight of a grand jury seated amid new allegations against singer R. Kelly. WGN's Patrick Elwood is outside Kelly's studio with the full story. Patrick.
Micah, good evening to you. No sign of R. Kelly here at his near West Side recording studio, but the headline today comes from high-profile criminal defense attorney Michael Avenatti, who says that he has knowledge that Kelly is facing new criminal charges and a Cook County grand jury is looking into the matter presently. It has been a turbulent new year for R. Kelly. CNN now reporting the singer-performer is being investigated for having sex with underage girls again. And a Cook County grand jury is now seated and considering criminal charges against him. Attorney Michael Avenatti, who is suing President Trump on behalf of adult film actress Stormy Daniels and has been a vocal proponent that the president face criminal charges, is now claiming he has turned over a new sexual tape involving Kelly and an underage girl to Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office. Avenatti spoke to WGN via Skype.
Well, I now represent 4
individuals in connection with this, 2 whistleblowers and 2 victims. So I represent 4 different individuals. The individual, the whistleblower, who has provided this tape, which we uncovered and turned over to prosecutors earlier this month, has known Mr. Kelly for the better part of 2 decades.
It was a Netflix series called Surviving R. Kelly that aired in January, which examined Kelly's lifestyle and his alleged penchant for and predatory behavior towards young girls. It sparked a Mute R. Kelly movement through social media. Soon after the series aired, State's Attorney Fox held a press conference asking alleged victims to come forward. A 6-year legal battle culminated in 2008 when he was arrested and then acquitted of similar charges. There was a sex tape central to that investigation as well. Most recently, Kelly has faced the scrutiny of Chicago building inspectors, who have investigated complaints that he and his associates have been using a near West Side recording studio for residential living purposes. Now, Avenatti says he is confident Fox will do the right thing, and criminal charges against Kelly are imminent.
I have every confidence in Kim Fox and the people around her in her office that justice is about to be done in this case, finally, after 2 decades. And I am confident that in the coming days, R. Kelly will be indicted, he will be arrested, and I will be very surprised if he ever walks free another day in his life.
No comment today from Kim Fox, the Cook County State's attorney. Calls in to Steve Greenberg, Kelly's attorney, have not been returned, but he did tweet some 22 hours ago, guys. I am unaware of any special grand jury being convened to look into R. Kelly. There is no record of any such proceedings and no need for them. The report is false. Reporting from the Near West Side.
Of course, you have to save face. You have to save face right now because that is your job as, R. Kelly's attorney. You guys got to keep in mind here, before we continue, Senator, I do want to make sure we narrate and preference the positionality of the celebrity of one R. Kelly today in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Now, at the time when R. Kelly was brought to court, I believe, was it 2008? Because I know it took about 4 or 5 years before him to actually get to court.
Yeah, his legal team did a good job in the sense of stalling his court date and actually being brought to trial because they wanted the victim to actually be of age.
Yeah.
So, there will be less sympathy for her.
Yeah, exactly. Great point. Now, I want you all to understand this because there are some people right now that are going to say, well, he walked the first time. He may get on his rich homie Quan shit and walk again, Absolutely not. To be honest with you, R. Kelly is in a very fragile position today. His celebrity has significantly dwindled. He's actually grown more in infamy now. Then on top of that, the appeal of who he is has waned for a lot of people. He hasn't been putting out consistent hits to keep the public hypnotized. Then on top of that, repeatedly each year it has been reported that he has been having severe financial troubles. I mean, foreclosure properties happening with him in this country that has been going on for the past 5 or 6 years. So for them to be able to move on him right now, there is a good chance that he could be in trouble. But his lawyer would have to save face right now because they don't know what to do at this moment. They're coming up with their way about how they're going to approach it. So until then, what do you do when power's in the room? You act like you don't see it. And again, with Michael Avenatti, again, like we said, a lot of people have dirt on them, but this is all about war for these folks. So he stated that the walls are closing in on R. Kelly. Now, remember, Michael Avenatti also is implicated in a situation where IRS employees accused of leaking Michael Cohen's bank records to Michael Avenatti as well. As you can see, Michael Avenatti, by any means, is definitely trying to go after the president of the United States, and he's building his case as well. But at the same time, it's still chess moving forward for a lot of these people. So we want to make that abundantly clear that it looks like Michael Avenatti is going to seize this opportunity to exhaust as much and as many resources that he has.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why, the justice situation is an attempt for people to be distracted with the fact that in North Carolina, you have a Republican who just stepped down one of the districts because he was caught cheating, voter fraud. So he has to step down, and they have to do a revote now. Then you also have Robert Kraft being caught in alleged sex trafficking. You have Jeffrey Epstein's, whose case is being reopened because of basically the cheating of the system that was done in favor of him for him to get 13 months in county jail and still be able to be driven by a chauffeur from his prison cell to his work office. So all these things are very important. That's why I told people the R. Kelly thing, the Robert thing, these are not distractions, because this is all connected into a deep web globally of sex trafficking. Because Jeffrey Epstein, for example, has not just been caught trafficking girls from the United States, also abroad as well.
Yeah, you know, even in the Jeffrey Epstein case, that, you know, his youngest victim was 14 years old, and she was bought and paid for in the amount of $200. Now, if you read a little bit further into the R. Kelly situation, I believe his youngest victim is 12 years old. So what they did, even them spinning the narrative in the public to kind of slide many of the people into the comfort of R. Kelly's behavior, the joke went around about the 16-year-old girl who was one of the victims. But no, with R. Kelly, the youngest victim is 12 years old. And this is what happens when our knowledge doesn't go further than pop culture. Okay? So, again, a very busy day, a very interesting day. Today is 2/22/2019. Epstein has been brought up again. Robert Kraft, the philanthropist, has been busted for participating in sex trafficking situations at massage parlors. That a lot of that shit goes on in this country, by the way, just to let everybody know. Some of you all may know, especially in the parts of the New York area, the upper class New York area, and the Hollywood, California area as well. And then also R. Kelly, 10 counts. So it looks like, as far as I'm concerned, that's equality.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That's equality.
Oh, yeah. All these predators deserve to get caught. That's the thing about it. You know, it shouldn't be a situation where anybody has sympathy or empathy based off of race about a predator that is messing with children and also messing up the livelihoods of other people. And this is why it's very important for all of you to not be misled on this topic of sex trafficking and politics and also entertainment. Well, the hashtag First Them do not apply to R. Kelly. You should be protecting innocent black men and women, period. You should not be protecting people like R. Kelly, because he also is tied into a Robert Kraft, tied into a Jeffrey Epstein, and the list goes on and on and on.
Well, you have remember now, you have even, let's not forget, Africa Bambaataa. You have Russell Simmons situations right now.
Russell fled the country.
I mean, come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. There's a lot of things that are going on, that have been going on right up under our noses. Shouts out to Rio on Facebook. We appreciate you joining the chat as well. And again, shouts out to the wonderful people that are listening to us on Periscope. But yeah, so the thing is this. This is what I find interesting, Sam. It actually makes sense. I mean, hypothetically, I'm just going from, I could be wrong, right? Don't want to make no presumptions or assumptions, excuse me. But it did look like Robert Kraft was building sympathy real estate in the public eye, because he might have been aware of what was to come.
Oh, Robert Kraft was just marketing himself to be more of a guy of a humanitarian.
There you go.
He's helping with the prison. This is what I hate about people sometimes. There are a lot of bad people who do good things to make themselves look good, even though they're disgusting. You have a lot of people who are involved in human trafficking that they may donate to women causes and say, I'm for women, I'm against domestic violence and rape, right?
What's with Simmons? What's with Simmons?
Right. I recall Russell Simmons being one of those guys.
I'm an equal opportunist. I believe women have that right. I believe we all came from a woman. We all got that name from a woman.
I mean, come on, y'all seen all crime syndicates. Y'all seen it even in films and TV shows and even in real life, that there are a lot of bad people that do good things to make themselves look good, even though they're doing extreme harm. So bringing up what Robert Kraft has done for prison reform or for Meek Mill doesn't mean anything, because the atrocity is much higher than the help, and the help is not even out of helping another human being. It's out of making sure their political game is straight and their media game is straight in the public.
And then you also have to understand the sadistic nature of getting away. You know, there are two types of people. You know, those who get away and they're quiet about it. They're like, oh, man, I pulled that shit off. I don't want to say nothing. Yo, man, don't bring no noise around me, right? If you steal a cookie, you know what I'm saying? You ding somebody's parked car, you just kind of back out and shut the fuck up and keep walking. Then you have the people who have been getting away with far more atrocious situations, right? And they become sadistic and narcissistic. R. Kelly had always been waving it in everybody's face, right? Russell Simmons, he's always been there. You listen to his interviews, you listen to the slick stuff he talked about. Why do you think he called Donald Trump his nigga? And you go see those pictures with Russell Simmons and Brett Ratner and Donald Trump hanging out with each other.
Let's not forget what 2 Live said about a Donald Trump party he went to.
There you go.
He had to leave.
And we're talking about Uncle Luke.
Yeah, he said he had to leave the party because there was underage girls. This was before Trump became president. He
said there was some females there that didn't look old enough. And we're talking about Uncle Luke, the man that is responsible for the parental advisory sticker being on all CDs.
And I think people are missing an opportunity here, getting so caught up. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Some of y'all are acting like Alex Jones. Alex Jones was supposed to be someone who was supposed to disseminate truth about what's really going on in the structure of government. And what he became was power hungry and greedy, and he wanted to be a part of the in crowd and play a team. You know, that's what we saw with Trump and what took place when he allowed Trump on his platform, and then the racist bullshit rhetoric that dude was slinging. You have a lot of black people online that are doing the same thing, to the point that even some of y'all was attacking Dream Hampton, who just allowed many of you the opportunity to look under every fucking rock you can and find all the powerful perverts that have been messing with your community, and to take that rock and remove it so they can't hide anymore.
Well, you know what now? Let's be clear now. Dream Hampton has to walk around with armed bodyguards now. Now, mind you, the original reporter who broke the case, he had to go into seclusion with his family, because after he broke the case, remember now, he broke the case about R. Kelly at the time when R. Kelly had visible presence in the cultural stratosphere. Well, what happened was they shot into his home where his family was in there. Jim DeRogatis is the original reporter's name, out of Chicago, who was originally a music cultural critic. I mean, this is a guy that was reviewing the old Iron Butterfly and old Jimi Hendrix albums, right? All of a sudden, he gets this information about R. Kelly having a problem with underage girls. And at first, again, Tyrese Smith, the name is Jim DeRogatis. DeRogatis, check him out. So at first, this is what happened, because this is how people are, right? This is why things don't get broke into the public, because as potential whistleblowers, people have second thoughts. So this is what Jim said. If you read excerpts from many of his writings, because he doesn't do any interviews anymore. He's still freaked out about a lot of shit, because this is what I want everybody to preference. We always talking about conspiracy theories, and we don't think a nigga could be the conspiracy. We're so used to playing the victim, the Jesus Messiah complex. Niggas cannot participate in conspiracies. Oh, yes, we can.
Oh, absolutely.
All right?
Yes, we can. You have a lot of black people who are part of the deep state. So let's not pretend that even though the majority are white, you still have a lot of black people who are a part of the deep state, who are agents, who are having y'all attack people, whistleblowers who are talking about child traffickers, and you're wasting your time on Twitter going after them.
So this is what happened. You're right, Sin, and this is what happened with Jim DeRogatis, because we had to bring him up before we even get to a Dream Hampton. Jim DeRogatis, at first, he didn't really want to touch it. He wasn't sure about it. He said, kept nagging at him. So somebody had sent him the tape. He immediately turned it over, of course, to police custody after having it reviewed by staff. Editor said, hey, man, you have to run with the story. You know, like, just run with it. Ran with it. It broke. I mean, it caught like wildfire, right? And then the tape was already circulating on the street. Then there were attempts made on his life. Now, if R. Kelly had been innocent, why would there have been attempts made on a white man's life? Just keep that in mind now. He's a white man. So they shot up his house. So he immediately takes his family and goes into seclusion. It has affected his career permanently. So moving forward, there was pressure squeezed. There was pressure applied to certain people who were coming forward about R. Kelly, because he wasn't the only one. Because R. Kelly had been and still is to some degree connected. So then we get up to Dream Hampton. While everybody was lost in, oh, you know, she wrote for the Vibe, she hung out with Jay-Z, this shit 20 fucking years ago, motherfucker, fuck 20 years ago. All right? She's not running with those people now. She's completely removed herself from that. If you notice, if she was still locked in as much as people were claiming she was, the lady would be all over every fucking talk show right now. She'll be on The Talk. She'll be on she ain't even on the fucking View. This is how concerned with her safety this woman is.
I don't trust any YouTuber or any black person who went after her pretending to R. Kelly. Now, if you got something else with somebody, then that's fine. But I don't trust any black person who went after her, because either you're just very dumb and you didn't take a chance to actually read the information of how deep this sex trafficking goes, or you're an agent.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right, Sin. So here's the thing about it. So Dream Hampton, for those people who have deductive skills, I'm sure you have noticed, I mean, come on. The fucking R. Kelly situation is a wildly successful series. North of 20 million views for Lifetime. Let's think about this. Because we act like women cannot be a part of the whistleblower club when many of them have been whistleblowers. So here you have somebody who's taken their real estate in the cultural influence stratosphere and decided to use it against R. Kelly. And what she did, she leveled the corporate power and visibility against R. Kelly, especially at this particular time in his career where celebrity-wise, he's at his weakest he's ever been. All right, he's looking like Washington Wizard Michael Jordan knees right now as far as his celebrity goes. R. Kelly don't have enough strength to pull off a remix hit if his life depended on it. So now you think about this. Miss Chalet had her documentary on Lifetime about Dr. Dre beating the shit out of her, which Dr. Dre has had a history. But she had a show, a movie that chronicled the abuse of what took place with her and Dr. Dre, right? She actually had a chance to go on a promotion tour. And it was a successful story. People talked about it on YouTube. Now, the R. Kelly saga is far more successful than Miss Chalet's movie, and this woman is nowhere in sight.
Even beforehand, remember when she took all the victims because she was going to broadcast it in some type of theater, it got shut down because there was a bomb threat.
Okay, talk about that. Run that by the people again, because we want to, because we've done our research.
She was trying to do the promo to it, but she had to stop because she had a bomb threat. Then when it premiered and it got over 20 million views on Lifetime, she didn't even go for the after press. But like you said, what you would think somebody would do with a successful docuseries.
Yeah.
She couldn't even do that because she's in fear of her life.
Now think about that. And not only was it a bomb threat, somebody had threatened to shoot up the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So they canceled it.
That's why
they canceled it.
I thought it was bizarre that after it aired, some people kept trying to at her and antagonize her and troll her. Even some people that, they're supposed to be a part of the counter media. Here, somebody sticking up for black children, black girls. And it's the same thing even with the woman we've been talking to about the Bambaataa documentary, Layla.
Yes.
She was getting threats as well.
And one of her witnesses was killed in Atlanta.
Exactly. So she was getting threats because
and this is tied to Bambaataa.
Yeah, and this is tied to Bambaataa.
I mean, not the murder itself, but the atmosphere.
Yeah, the documentary that she's trying to put out. So it's quite interesting how these people who are brave enough to do what they're doing are the ones that are getting death threats. And meanwhile, you have some, it's not all. I will say, I do think a good portion of black people were really serious about the R. Kelly thing and even the Bambaataa stuff, and they want it to be pushed forward. But there are a lot of knuckleheads that are supposed to be a part of alternative media, and they keep doing status quo weird shit. Like,
you're doing establishment work is what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're the sequel to the establishment media. You're not alternative media. You're the sequel.
Yep.
That's what's going on. And I want you all to really think about this. You know what? Let me do some research on Dream Hampton. Go do some research. The lady has to suit up for protection. Now, how long is that going to be? Who knows? Who knows? As you all saw, I wanted y'all to even pay attention since we all are into conspiracy theories. On the same day, all of the celebrities who were still holding on to R. Kelly denounced him on the same day. Then, let's go ahead and look into the chessboard of celebrity. You had Jada Pinkett Smith sit down at the red blood table with one of the victims, right? Then you had what's the woman's name?
Lady Gaga. You talking about the Grammys?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the Grammys. Yeah, they were on stage together at the Grammys.
Well, yeah, and it's not to implicate Jada Pinkett Smith, but Lady Blah Blah, it's about paying attention to how she had to move to fix her energy quickly in front of the public.
Yeah, Lady Gaga was on stage with other black women trying to make it seem like everything was cool, even though she was a big protector and fighter in favor of R. Kelly for a couple of years.
Yeah, and so what we're saying here, we want you all to pay attention and really go back and revisit everything. I want you to go back and Sin and I really look. Y'all hear us, but you don't have to listen to us. Do your own research. We all watched Reading Rainbow. What did the nigga say? You don't have to take my word for it. But go look up, why is this woman silent?
Yeah, and again,
right?
we're not saying anything about Jada and stuff. We're just talking about the marketing scheme
of Lady Gaga.
How when she was presented by Alicia Keys, she was also presented with other black women on stage to try to make it seem like she's down when she's not.
There you go. So this is about paying attention to certain things. You see what I'm saying? Pay attention to why this black woman, who just had a wildly successful docuseries. It was a 7-part, 7-part. How long was it?
6-part, I believe.
6-part docuseries that basically trumped Michelle Lay's movie, which was wildly successful for Lifetime. Michelle Lay went on a whole PR campaign tour about it. She was being interviewed by everybody. Everybody was hearing her here, there. This woman, Dream Hampton, just says, fuck it, I have to actually double up on security. And then if you notice that same day, on the same day actually, all of the celebrities who were rocking with R. Kelly, they all start denouncing him. You know, Jennifer Hudson, she slid around here, not letting everybody know the song Where You At was written by R. Kelly. Right? She's like, I'm not going to perform that record. Then you had Lady Gaga stand on stage, or she talking about, what she did, she quickly turned herself into the victim. She said, well, I was abused. I thought it was, normal as you go listen to the lyrics of the song. Whatever, woman. Whatever, all right? But if you notice all of these people, that's why we said it's not about good guy or bad guy. It's how these people are playing chess with each other. Same thing between this little war between Robert Kraft and Donald Trump. Well, look at Robert Kraft right now.
Yeah. And also just to go back to Magnet, talking about Dream Hampton and Vibe. She was a music journalist, music commentator. She talked about R. Kelly's music before the porn tapes came out of underage girls. Whoever was telling you that information to try to discredit her is retarded because, again, it's like what you said with the other guy who became a whistleblower.
Yeah.
He was a music journalist. It happened to come across his desk, and that's what led him to have the courage to bring it to the police and to move forward with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing different than Dream Hampton. So in 2001, or before the tapes dropped, she had the interview or the write-up about R. Kelly's music in favor of how he is when it comes to him singing. But it wasn't about knowing about his history with the tapes and all that. That came out later. Well, so I don't like when people be stupid on purpose.
Yep. No, you're right about that. Well, actually, you know what? What is his name? Magnetic. You know what? I'm all about the fuckery. I want to step into your point of view. Kind of like when Dream did that Vibe interview. I'm glad you brought that up. Again, you're talking to a research team here. By the way, check out our video that we uploaded recently on Kamala Harris. While everybody's talking about is she black enough, Sin and I, we focus on the policies and her history in California. So again, we enjoy doing our research. We're not like everybody else. We enjoy the research. If it was up to us, we'll create 4-hour documentaries every fucking day and do our research all day, just turning and reading and turning and interviewing. That's what we love, right? So I want to go into your world because I'm about the bullshit too. So you bring up there about the Vibe interview, which was, I believe it was in 2000.
I think
it was 2000. Dream Hampton said this, and if you can actually backtrack on her Twitter feed, which we had a chance to do because we want to watch and study and research. Dream Hampton said this basically in so many words. I'm paraphrasing. She said, "You know what? At the time, that was before, like you said, Sin, the tapes broke out, right? But she did say she apologizes." She had apologized because she was a part of the culture that ignored the fact that R. Kelly paraded a 13-year-old girl, a 14-year-old girl that he had married after everybody saw the license, the marriage license being published publicly. So now Magnetic MC, to go into your point, she said she did the series to basically for redemption, for being a part of this the culture that looked away at the time when he was parading this underage girl in front of the world. As you saw on that MTV show where they had two black nigga hosts, a man and a woman, a black man and a black woman, joking and jousting about R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Ooh, yeah, like they're two adults, right? So she said one of the reasons why she did what she did with this series is to atone for her sin, for participating in the culture that celebrated R. Kelly, who already put it in your face, like they say in Texas, like they put it in your face. He already put it in people's face that he was into young girls. So that's why she even launched into the series. That's all I'm saying, player.
She is the reason why Dominique's mother was able to get her and find her, take her out of that shitty hotel that R. Kelly had her in. That's how fucking stupid some of y'all are. I mean, that woman would have never gotten her daughter back if it wasn't for that docuseries, because she wouldn't even have been given the money to be able to go to California and get her daughter out of there. That situation, the Dominique is the girl that R. Kelly turned into a butch.
Made her dress like a boy.
Yeah.
And then actually, and not to slide the little young lady under the bus, because I wouldn't want to do that. But even if you look at what goes on with R. Kelly's daughter, you know what I'm saying? And the thing I don't like about this.
One, I think he has two.
Yeah, but there is one that,
you don't know what happened there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so she said, though, and this is what I don't understand about. I understand and I get it, but I still don't like it when I see it, better yet. R. Kelly's daughter spoke right after the docuseries was released. And she's a young girl. Like, most of this shit when he was doing this stuff, she wasn't even born yet, or she was a baby. And she said, look, I apologize for what my father has been doing. But she says, you don't have to try to air me out. She says, I lived with him. I know what went on. And again, a black little girl spoke, and the selfish adults talked right over it. That's all I needed to hear. You know what I'm saying? His daughter said, I lived in the house. I know what went on. She has nothing to do with her father. Why is that?
And I'm going to tell you what's going to go on with the media. They're going to overblow the Jussie Smollett situation. All Jussie needs is a fucking fine. Call it a day. Move the fuck on with our lives.
Remember, he's a young man like Ryan Lochte.
Oh, I'm gonna call Jussie a young man.
Yeah.
He's just a young man.
He's a baby.
He's a baby.
He's a Goo Gaga.
Just like they call Ryan Lochte, he's just a baby.
Wah, 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 wah. Bitch, I'm a little baby.
That is not important as much as a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. And they're going to parade the Jussie thing and milk it out as much as possible. And the media is going to be very, very, very in favor of Robert Kraft. They're going to try to spin it, you know, and try to maneuver around it.
You know who his people are that saying, you know where his spin machine is about to come from.
What?
The Stephen A. Smiths, the Max Kellermans,
that's what,
the ESPNs.
Shot by Nolan said too, the Whitlocks.
Oh, yeah, come on now. The Jason Fat Ass Locks.
Oh, Skip Bayless is going to be fucking...
Who, man? Who, man? He just blew that out of... Who, man?
Because you got so many sports analysis that are... And analysts, excuse me, that are extremely obsessed with Robert Kraft and the Patriots.
Woo, man. Let's see if we're going to get a comment from Forehead, Tom Brady.
But, you know, if you don't mind, we would like to open up the phone lines and have people call in.
Woo, man. Did you see that? So again, what we want you all to do, you don't have to listen to us, but do your research. Read what Dream Hampton, the interview she's giving. She's giving written interviews. She's giving interviews by like email and shit. Jim DeRogatis, the man who broke the story, doesn't want nothing to do with the fucking public because he said they are a fucking beast. He says it endangered my life and my kids, like all of that shit. And he basically so many words, he just felt it just was too much of a headache for him. So again, the spin machine will always be in effect because you see the spin machine's residual effects on the general public. So there you have it. You got Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and then Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein has a little disgusting island that people don't like to talk about. And look, let me tell you something.
There's a couple of celebrities that use his private jet too, like Chris Tucker and some other people. Yep.
Oh man,
Damn.
Hey man, we don't know what's going on with these folks. But I'm gonna tell you what though. You know, I see you with too many killers, I'm just gonna assume.
Oh yeah.
If I see you with too many killers, I'm just gonna assume.
The number is 281-899-0392. Again, the number is 281-899-0392. You could call in right now. Once again, the number is 281-899-0392. Call in and let us know your thoughts of Robert Kraft, on Jeffrey Epstein, on R. Kelly, and anybody else who's connected to this sex trafficking ring. And that's what's going on right now.
Yeah. You know, and again, all of this is taking place for a reason. I would be very careful with all of this, you know, when it comes to the state of celebrity. And I would do more research, people. Just do more research. You know, a lot of the commentators, I'm going to tell you right now, even though we have so much resources as quote unquote the new age or in the age of information, let me tell you something right now, players. There are a lot of intellectually lazy commentators.
Caller, name it where you're from. Oh, and turn on the background.
Yeah, hello?
Hello, you have a echo? Okay, wait, hold on. It sounds like it's getting better. Okay, there we go. What's up, caller? Name it where you're from.
Yeah, this is ST from Camden, New Jersey.
What's up?
Yeah, man, this whole Robert Kraft thing, man, this shit is like crazy. Like, cause think about it, they just got him because he was helping Meek with the whole prison reform thing. Now all of a sudden they bring this up. Like, come on. There's mad celebrities that do the same shit. Mad at these rich niggas paying for pussy. Like, how is that come out now when they find out he's trying to help Meek do something for young black niggas? Now they get him for that. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy.
Well, you know, I'll say this, player. I will say it's bigger than Meek Mill. If anything, Robert Kraft was using Meek Mill almost as a new way for PR for himself to, you know, like Sin said, to freshen up his image. Now, remind you, let's really preface this. Remind you, Trump just got through signing in the First Step Act, right?
Exactly.
All right, so he does that, get that out the way. All right, boom. And then, boom, got you, Robert Kraft, bitch. You didn't think I'd be back on the block for your ass.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, the Meek Mill don't mean anything. Stalin, for example, when he was killing a lot of people, he took pictures with a little girl and helped the little girl's family and presented himself as a good figure, as a good person when he wasn't. Another thing that people have to keep in mind, he's not just paying for pussy. Sex trafficking also involves a lot of underage people. And also, a lot of people who are in sex trafficking are forced into that lifestyle.
Well, it looked like you have to be careful, too, because remember, that's an Asian parlor. And you're talking about in Florida where there is a decent amount of illegal Asian immigrants that are caught up, specifically the Asian women are caught up in the sex trade trafficking as well. So that's another thing about it. I would be interested in seeing their backgrounds and where they come from. But I'll tell you this, player, that's one thing we have to be careful of. This has nothing to do with Meek Mill. Trump just got through signing in the First Step Act, which was pushed, you know, in the end phases, even though there was many people before Kanye and Kim fighting for that. You had people on the likes of Isaiah Washington who had been pushing hard for that as well. But this is a personal vendetta for what Robert Kraft had been overtly doing as well.
Yeah.
Meek Mill is just in a situation where he's just kind of caught in the middle. To be honest with you, he's going to be collateral damage. And be honest with you, and so will Jay-Z. Because Jay-Z's name's going to come into the fold just like his name came into the fold with the R. Kelly shit. Yeah. So that's what I would be paying attention to, is being careful where the media is going, how they're going to spin this, and then they're going to make this a race issue because niggas are already focusing on Meek Mill. Yeah, so niggas are already, they're missing the point and they're stuck on Meek Mill. But this is bigger than Meek Mill.
Yeah, I feel you, man. But yeah, I just wanted to come in and just give y'all my thoughts on this situation, man. Keep spreading the knowledge.
Man, we appreciate you too. Caller, name it where you're from.
This Self. I'm calling from Chicago.
Oh, what's up, Chicago in the building?
Yup. Chicago in the house. Free Jussie. But look. Hey, yo, it was so cold that night. My dog didn't even want to go outside and use the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like when he wake up to go pee, it was so cold. He looked at me like, "Can I just do it in the kitchen?" I said, "Nah, you got to go out there, homie." And that was the quickest pee he ever took in his life. That was how cold it was that night. So just want to put that out there on some Chicago shit. Real quick, I was see, I'm a little older, y'all. First of all, I want to say I respect you guys because I'm a little older. I'm 40. And I respect the research y'all be doing. You know what I'm saying? I really respect it because I be listening to the show like, how do these young cats know about all this? They wasn't even born when this was going down. You know what I'm saying? So I can respect the research. Let me just say this. I went to the Best of Both Worlds tour back in the day. And it was in Chicago here, right? And R. Kelly, first of all, he was 2 hours late coming out on stage. So it was a whole big whatever with that concert. That's why I got blown up. But right when his act started, he put up on the screen a letter soliciting all the young girls in the crowd. He said, if you're over 19, I want you to come back with me. I want you to come back to my house. I want to do all these things to you. But the stipulation was you had to be at least 19 years of age, right? And this was at the R. Kelly concerts. This was a part of his act. He had to be well into his late 30s doing this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how old he was when the Best of Both Worlds, but this was a part of this act. He was soliciting young girls at the concert. So want to just throw that out to you. I'm from Chicago. I grew up around a lot of pimping and a lot of hoeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I came up. I was really close friends with Don Juan's son, Magic.
Okay, I know about
on
him.
the West Side.
Yeah, I know about him.
And I, so this, it's like my generation is kind of different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we came up on this. So I came up on pimps and hoes, and you know what I'm saying, and how to set out a bitch and all that. Excuse my language, but just pimping. You know what I mean? But it's such a new day now. I got daughters myself. I was just talking to my father a while ago, and he was just telling me his fourth wife was only 19 when he met her. He was 38.
Mm-hmm.
Just my father. It was just so much of this going on. You know what I mean? That it was just so a part of the culture that it's just so different now. So I see Sincere getting real passionate, and I don't blame you for being so sincere, passionate, Sincere. But sometimes I be wanting to just tell you I wish you were there so you could have saw it for yourself. You know what I mean? It was a different time, and I can't excuse it. But it's just I'm glad things are changing now. But it was just such a different time back then.
For me, I don't like the circle of power, and I don't like anything goes, no rules. I don't have a problem with guys paying for sex. I have a problem with sex trafficking and people who are not doing it because they want to do it, be involved, and people who are underage that are involved. That's my problem. Like, when I look at the Bunny Ranch in Nevada, I don't care. If guys wants to go there, if they have medical attention, whatever, people do what they do. But the problem with this whole structure is anything goes. I can buy a 5-year-old. I can kidnap some woman. She's missing somewhere. I can kidnap some little boy. Like, I can do whatever I want. There's no rules. There's no regulations. There's nothing.
Well, you know what, player, I definitely appreciate your honesty. My mother was born in East Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So she comes out of that era. All my folks on that side, they all connected. All right, you know what I'm saying? So connected that people couldn't touch me when I walked in the streets. I'm just being honest with you. They found out whose son I was. You know what I'm saying? And they backed off. What I will say is this: I understand where you're coming from in that regard, but you know what? Things are changing for a reason. You know, a lot of guys, particularly I've seen online, they've been very uncomfortable with certain things. But at the same time, it has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you look at how acceptable a lot of shit was back then, man. Like, I mean, if we want to be real, we had in our black families, from the baby boomers and early Gen Xers, and even we're talking about 7. We haven't even gotten to the incest shit that went on. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
the levels of incest. Yeah, the level of it. Cousins humping each other. People thinking, oh, my cousin's cute. I ain't never thought none of my fucking cousins was cute. You see what I'm saying? But the whole point is that had been normalized. That's a pathology there. And then when on top of the pathology, right, we have a lying ass cultural veneer, a plastic culture. So let's take the RoboCop broad, Kamala the Cop Harris, right? So Kamala the Cop Harris refused her office, which were prosecutors, which prided itself off having an impeccable record as prosecutors. As she said, I had some political capital, so I wanted to prosecute poor-ass black parents in California, right? But when it came to the police officers, when they were fucking the shit out of underage girls in the street, her office didn't move when the citizens of California said, hey, what's up with these cops fucking our young girls in these streets? She didn't want to move on that. Then she wants to sit on Breakfast Club and tell us about fucking Too Short. You see what I'm saying? That's the dysfunctional culture that we're in.
Too Short, our favorite rapper.
Right. So, like, it's
and
like...
you know what he was rapping about.
Come on, man. So, like, the thing is like, even when we, the Charlemagnes and the Ebros, bro, you got to understand... this whole culture's been bought and paid for, right?
And they're merging a lot of different things together in this culture, blurring the lines. It's like when you're talking about sex trafficking, people automatically assume that you're saying women can't strip or guys can't do that.
It's not the case.
You're trying to say everybody has to be Puritans. No. What we're saying is no children. What we're saying is people who are willing adults who want to participate in that lifestyle and medical attention and nobody getting beat and, you know, money being exchanged. That's fine. That is what we're talking about.
What they do is control the narrative.
Anybody who I ever witnessed who was either prostituting themselves underage or anything like that, it was always a poverty thing. See, it's like if you ain't got no money and you broke, and people gonna prey on that. People gonna prey on, oh, they broke. She from a broke family. You know what I'm saying? Anytime this poverty situation, people gonna prey on that. You ever saw the movie Pimps Up, Hoes Down? Or it's a pimp movie, and it's this white lady who gives her daughter to this pimp. It's this poor white lady.
I know that movie.
American Pimp or something. She literally gives her daughter away to a pimp.
Well,
no, that's true.
And like her 14-year-old daughter away to this pimp on that movie. So the thing was, it's just like, it's poverty, y'all. It's poverty. When you poor and you come from a poor family, you looking out here to try to get a little money in your pocket, and people gonna prey on that. So that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all's show, man, and keep pumping out the stuff. But just can y'all speak on how the poverty thing and how we can how that relates into sex victims and whatnot?
Of course. I mean, I've absolutely made a video on that. And yes, there are parents who are selling their kids. That's definitely a part of it. In India, in China, in the United States, where you have parents or a parent that will sell their daughter off, or even their son, but in most cases, their daughter off to a pimp or some type of institution that is involved in sex trafficking. But on the flip side, too, another part of it is kidnapping as well. Like, what was that white girl who was from a wealthy family? She was kidnapped and she was brought into sex trafficking.
Nancy Holloway. Oh, no, I was going to say Nancy.
I know you know. I just
you
can't
talking about Natalie Holloway?
I can't remember her name.
No, she came up missing.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she was found again. Like, you know, her family found her.
Oh, you talking about Elizabeth Smart?
I don't know her name. I know, it could have been.
Because it was Elizabeth Smart. They kidnapped her.
Yeah, so
you know.
Yeah, so one side of it is people selling their children, or uncle or aunt, whatever, parents there. That's one part of it. The other part is kidnapping.
Well, yeah, it is kidnapping, but yeah, definitely. Well, it's like what Thomas Sowell said. You know, poverty makes you susceptible to being a slave. It makes the opportunity of slavery happening with you. And to be honest with you, that's why you do have a lot of young black girls that are missing and black women that are missing as well, because they're coming from impoverished communities. I've seen it myself growing up in poverty-stricken areas of Atlanta, or if you're talking about Texas, you know what I'm saying? It's a real issue, which is why R. Kelly did what he did. Even when we were talking about getting above R. Kelly to the billionaire class, if you notice, they're always importing immigrant poor class from the Philippines. If they're coming from Mexico, they're always coming from somewhere poor. You know, and to be real with you, player, we got to be real with the fellas too. Because we always laugh about, quote unquote, the down low niggas in the industry. But a lot of times these little young boys coming out of Philly rapping about, you know, spraying the K in the face, talking about the Draco and shit. A lot of times they'll do anything to stay in those diamonds and pearls. You know what I'm saying? Including sucking executives off, including selling themselves behind the scene. So no, the poverty thing is a really big issue, which is why you have an exploiting class of predators that come into these communities and do that, which that's what R. Kelly did. Because remember, he went into the hoods of Chicago. He went to the hoods of Chicago, to those McDonald's that were in those hoods, to pull those young girls out that may have, you know, one good ass fat farm coat that they held onto, or if they wanted this and that. Yeah, all of that type of shit.
But some of them were middle class families though, with two parents too.
But middle class parents that expired, that was inspired. That wanted to be millionaires, though. They was, you know what I mean? They was, but they wasn't. They was middle class, but they wanted to be. They probably was working class poor, to tell you the truth. More working class poor than middle class.
Yeah, that is true with a lot of black folks. And also, saying to your point, and to your point as well, where you guys meet in the middle, there's the case in point is, I can't think of the one family where they took their daughter to the R. Kelly concert and he pulled her on stage.
Yeah, they had some money.
Yeah, then he kidnapped, but it's like he said, though, they were hoping to aspire to get above their means. And so he takes the daughter, brainwashes her, because she's like, oh, shit, I'm with R. Kelly. Fuck my parents. They don't have no authority because they don't have the same type of power this man have, right? Mm-hmm. Then when they met with their daughter, and then he reassured them, look, man, I'm not messing with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Everything's cool. And they were like, well, okay. It's because he was R. Kelly in the promise of moving into some sort of financial affluency.
Another level.
Yeah.
Another ceiling.
Yeah, so yeah.
Can I say one more thing? Y'all can take this off air. And does it mean anything now that R. Kelly's career is practically over and now we got him? Maybe he'll do 3 to 4 years. He probably get probation. What does it mean that we got him at the end of his career? Did he really win? Because he was able to do his thing in his prime. So he's like 50-something now, and now we got him. Does it matter?
Oh, it does matter. All these guys matter because they'll do this until their dick doesn't work. Like, you still getting him in his prime, in his mind, and still technically you are still getting it because, I mean, even though he's 50, he is a younger, healthy-looking 50.
He's a nigga.
And
nigga 50 is different than cracker 50.
Yeah, and then also, like, it's not just R. Kelly. If it's just R. Kelly by himself, you're really not doing anything. You have to get the syndicate. You got to get all the entire web, or as much as possible. The Robert Kraft, allegedly, the Jeffrey Epstein, that's not allegedly because he's already been caught. So it's about getting as many of them as possible, not just one guy.
Well, what I will say to your question.
Y'all come on to Chicago. Y'all come. Let me know. We're going to hit the studio up.
Already, right, man. We appreciate you. But, to his point, that the caller bring up, on a cultural critiquing level, it's a bad look that it took this long, especially after he paraded a 14-year-old girl around as his love interest, as his woman. You know what I'm saying? And he had, albums, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. So that whole album is only a Aaliyah album I can't
listen to.
Yeah, I can't listen to. I can't listen to that fucking album. Everything else with Aaliyah, I rock with 100%. But no, I mean it's a bad indictment on the culture. But then again, what Dream Hampton and people, her supporting team, her production team behind her was able to do as well. And as long as we have people like Jim Derogatis who put their whole career on the line, a successful musical critic career on the line to snipe at R. Kelly, that still shows you there are decent people in the world that they'll still stand up though.
Yeah, if people keep acting like this, they're just gonna start having sex with kids in front of the street, in front of people anyway.
Well, like they were doing in Rome.
Yeah, I mean, if people keep getting passive about the sex structure of trafficking and everything, you're just gonna see people getting raped in the streets like what happened in Rome.
Yeah, in Rome, if people realize, because the fall of Rome. I know, like, we're so used to the boom and bam, but actually the fall of Rome was more gradual, because decadency had, become the norm of the land. Not to say the Roman culture was all that perfect, because they were fucked up anyway, but they began to implode on themselves, and it got to a point where they were raping young boys in the streets. I mean, that's how bad. God knows what they were doing to the women.
And young girls.
Yeah, the women and young girls, though.
And young boys, yeah.
You see, and then it just got to a point where it was just a free fall. They didn't care, just completely folded in on itself, but it was a gradual process. And if you look at our customs, for us generationally, one of the things by pop culture is to always keep removing these ceilings. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want a society of barbarians. A society where people are trying to move in acceptance of children having relationships with adults. Sexual relationships, that's not a relationship. That's automatically, rape. You have films now that are more comfortable with showcasing relationships with an older man and a younger boy, or older man and a young girl, or older woman and a young boy, and it's disgusting, and we have to nip it in the bud. And also someone said that Robert Kraft is being arrested for solicitation, not sex trafficking. No, we already showed at the beginning of the show that part of it, the investigation, they wanted to find out, did he know and is he a part of sex trafficking? You know,
Yeah.
So that's the investigation that's still ongoing. So it's not just simply solicitation.
And I would, just to say this for anybody, actually the Romans were worse than the barbarians. The barbarians were, if you read about them, a lot of them were niggas too. I mean, you don't want a society of fucking Romans. That's what you don't want, because Rome was fucked up. Rome was the problem is Rome has been romanticized, which, has been the case. Just like R. Kelly's behavior, his predatory nature has been romanticized. And even when you look at some of these people like Jeffrey Epstein, look, y'all, Jeffrey Epstein has not said anything because, number one, he knows what the deal is. He knows a lot. And again, he's another one that they may find somewhere, you know what I'm saying, laid out. But he holds a lot of secrets. You know what I'm saying? That's why you saw Trump having to back off of him, quite, oh, yeah, no, he's a good friend of mine, but he likes young girls. I mean, I'm not surprised, and he walks away.
Well, that's exactly why I'm paying attention to the public. I'm paying attention to different YouTubers, the general public reaction to these stories when it's factual, when it's like just proof there. I'm watching people's reactions because so is the U.S. government. So are think tanks. They're also watching your reactions.
Yeah.
If they see that your reaction is comfortable with rape, if they see that your reaction is comfortable with sex trafficking, if they see that you're comfortable with underage kids being sexually assaulted and all that, they're paying attention to you just like the analytics, just like them think tanks. And we're paying attention to it as well.
Well, you know what? Another thing about it, let me put this out there for y'all to understand this, how this game works. Do you know when the FBI comes across a child pornography site, they'll actually take over the site for a whole fucking year.
And see how many people go to it, yep.
A whole fucking year. Some cases up to 3 years. What the fuck is the FBI doing with child porn sites? What's going on there?
They're harvesting data.
What's going on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw recently YouTube just had to shut down a bunch of accounts because what they found
400 accounts. Yep.
What they found out was that there had been a pedophile network communicating with each other through videos where it showed little girls that were dressed up as cheerleaders, little 5-year-old girls walking up and down the steps, unwitting parents showing their children, running around like babies normally do with their butt out of their diapers. And the pedophiles were communicating with each other in the comment section. This is why we were saying about YouTube, because I've worked with big companies before. Sometimes we be angry because things don't work so much for YouTube or any other company. But when you go into the infrastructure, a lot of these companies don't have the manpower to surveil the system.
Well, also
YouTube, for instance, hold on. Yeah, what were you about to say?
No, just to add Discord to that list too. Discord had to crack down. They're trying to figure their system because a lot of pedophiles have been using the Discord to, what you talk about with YouTube.
Yeah, so I'm bringing up YouTube for a reason. This is for all of you people who are listening to YouTubers bitch. And that's why I said fucking research, you all. Just fucking read. God damn. I get so tired of people just, nigga, read before you start talking. Everybody got an opinion, man. Read. So with YouTube, like I said before, YouTube is too fucking big. They have too much content that is being created by the second for them to have the manpower to actually monitor the fucking system. In fact, YouTube is the only website that you have this much freedom on the comment board. That's why it took them a period to catch up. They was like, oh shit, pedophiles are communicating on our message boards. So they said, you know what, just start shutting down accounts. YouTube is far too fucking big, and they don't have enough manpower to monitor videos, to monitor the comment sections, to fix people's channels. It's a fucking huge monopoly. But what you have now, you have people who are hiding in parts of these, the YouTube comment sections and communicating on a pedophilic nature, just like saying with Discord. Discord is another company. It's the same shit with them. Their companies are too big. They don't have enough people that they've hired to actually monitor their infrastructure.
And it's not like that deep. Like, we're not questioning, man, where we're just stinky in the basement. It's like, oh, look at the files. Oh, my God. Like, it's stuff that just pops up on Twitter. Let's say Verve. Verve will have an article that pops up and says
Verve, Vox.
Yeah, and they would say Discord has to deal with pedophiles using their software. Like, that's what we're saying. It's just to read. It's not something that's being hidden. Is in some deep, dark secret.
This shit is there.
You have to sneak into the FBI headquarters to figure it out. No, this shit is online. There are articles online in the tech world that are telling you that there are a lot of pedophiles using their software and their system for pedophilia.
Look, I got a Kindle with a cracked screen that my baby Sin bought me. You know, I cracked the screen by accident. I was trying to hand you some, and I had the Kindle in my hand, and it slid into the seat, and then I cracked it. I was like, shit. It don't matter, though. It's still great information that I'll read. And then there's books you, like, just read. A lot of this shit is accessible. You don't have to go to the library. You know, you don't have to go, get, like, 16 books and walk them home. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, everything is right there. You know how many free fucking PDF files there are on the internet? You can just right-click. Whatever subject you want, you can put .pdf.
Yeah, on our
you know
Patreon, we have 4 articles about Discord and some other companies. We just sent it to our Patreon, so if they want to keep up to date about what's going on.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. I saw people like, I don't know why I clicked on some of them videos, Sam. So I clicked on one brother's video, and he was talking about, the pedophilia. He was like, yeah, so it's clear that, YouTube, that's what they're into. And he was just filibustering, pulling shit out of the air. I said, this motherfucker did not read. And I clicked off the video, but he had like 300 people in the comment section misleading. They were agreeing with him. So that's what we're saying. Even with the R. Kelly thing, most people who are commenting and defending R. Kelly, Sin and I can guarantee you, Burt Reynolds' dead body, that they have not read anything about the R. Kelly case. They don't know anything about the 12-year-old victims, the 13-year-old victims. They don't know anything about the physical abuse, the hush money, the silencing, the threats, the gang members threatening folks, people being shot at, people attempted murders. They don't know anything about that. All they know is that, nah, man, because he did 12 play and they let all these other white guys go.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Stay on Call. Just sent us a Bloomberg on what it's like to work inside Apple's black site.
You can share them that link.
Yeah, and she already did. And
shouts out to her.
This is an example of just how certain platforms, certain software, certain systems can be exploited for bad. This is why I'm paying attention to the public. I'm really paying attention to everybody, because I'm really baffled. Why are we talking about this as if this is something that is a secret when you have it on Bloomberg, when you have it on Verve, when you have it on so many different platforms? Atlanta Black Star talks about it in tech and all that. You have so many of them already telling you about sex trafficking. They're already telling you about how certain software is being exploited for pedophilia. So my thing that I don't understand with everyone else is, why are we shocked? Number one. Number two, why aren't we coming together to do something about it? Mm-hmm. Because it seemed like we don't really care about each other. That's why I'm so sick of this fake woke shit online. Because it's like, if you're really serious, you're going to have to pull your sleeves up and get to work. Because if you don't get to work, a lot of these wealthy assholes is going to be shitting on your heads.
Well, they already are shitting on a lot of people's heads.
Continue to shit on your head.
Yeah,
and they're giving you the information in your face. They're letting you know. Each article is telling you about this stuff.
Yeah, again, you had the attorney Alan Dershowitz, who had been there to defend O.J. Simpson. And, we know about the O.J. Simpson story. Actually, the O.J. Simpson story is not as complicated. Hold on, Open Mind. What's up, man? Hold on. The O.J. Simpson story is not as complicated as people try to make it out to be, right? Alan Dershowitz, again, was tied to Jeffrey Epstein, also Harvey Weinstein, right? Then, let's not forget the sister that everybody celebrated, who spoke so well and eloquently for Bill Cosby. Did you know that R. Kelly had hired her for 30 days? And she quietly took the money to give him advice, his team advice, and she moved on, slid over to Roland Martin, and started talking about politics and made sure that wasn't brought to the public.
Yeah, that's why we stopped even talking about Roland Martin. Like, you just do a little bit of research, you're like, all these people are fucking connected. And right, the woman with the short haircut, who was with Bill Cosby for a while for his legal team.
When everybody was champion. That's right,
Yeah.
girl. Go, sister.
Got her money
Black girl magic.
to give R. Kelly legal advice. Yes, Monique. Yes, that's
Yes.
right.
Look it up.
Monique
Look it up.
Presley. That's right, Love Wisdom.
She
her.
won't talk about that, though. 30 days on R. Kelly's payroll just for simple consultation.
Man, you just walk next to somebody else and you already dirty.
Open mind. What's
open
up?
Mind. What's up, man?
Yo, Prince, I just wanted to get some light of what you was just saying about when y'all tell people, when you see people defending R. Kelly, you know they don't read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason, and anybody that's listening, the reason, because I kind of saw some people still coming at y'all for that. So I want to give a further breakdown. Your response to R. Kelly, in defense of R. Kelly, shows that you don't read, because had you read, I'm talking about read in depth, from the court cases to the videos to the interviews to all the digging you can dig. Unless you yourself are complicit with the raping and misuse of little girls and little boys by adults, you cannot tell me that after reading all of that information, you still defend R. Kelly. So either you didn't read it and you just going off the 12 Play album, like you said, or you read it and you're complicit, so you still want to defend. It's only two options, because everybody who knows this information, if you got a human soul inside you and you're human, you can't possibly defend that, knowing the information. Now, it's one thing to be hearsay, but there's documented evidence. It's not people's opinions. This is evidence, and you're still defending R. Kelly. So that's why I was going to call and say.
You right, Open. I play. I always was saying that we love when you call in, man. We love it because, look, I'm gonna tell people real quick. I'm gonna make sure I humble myself. Yeah. I'm no more smarter than any motherfucker in this comment section.
It's not just because we read. It's that simple.
I may have a little bit more patience. And I may be able to sit down and read shit a little longer, but that's because that's just what I'm interested in. Because I don't like when the media reports something to me and the shit smells like rotten bologna.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all think that we be trying to say that we are God, we see everything. No, we just fucking read. That's not. Read. I didn't go out there and get the fucking research. We just read it.
Just read it.
And
the shit out there.
Yeah,
and people didn't threw. You know how many people didn't threw information out there? What was the guy that came forward? I can't think of his damn name, but he had broke this situation about Donald Trump and the embezzling and all of that, right? And people thought that was going to be an issue. Man, people talked right over his research. You know how many journalists, that's why the whole space of journalists and journalism has dwindled, right? It's like the bloggers replaced the legitimate journalists, and then the vloggers replaced the bloggers. So then that's why we got retarded commentators that are giving half-ass information out here. But when you think about a journalist, a lot of them have basically recused themselves from their families. Look at the shit Gary Webb went through. There. Just like think about it. You know how many journalists have turned up dead? You know how many of them have their husbands left them, their wives have left them, they're drinking because they've been digging so far into the mud and they felt the need to compact it into a compendium and give it to the public, and they lost their mind in the process.
Because the public try to act like they have no power, and so whatever happens bad is not on them. No, it is on you. Snowden was able to escape because so many people paid attention to his whistleblowing of the NSA, right? So everybody was talking about it. So many people were defending him. He got his ass out there. He survived, right? Jeffrey Epstein got 13 months in county jail and a slap.
With the assistance of the U.S. attorney in Florida at the time, Alex Acosta, who is in Trump's administration right now.
He got a slap on the wrist because they knew y'all wasn't paying attention. Yeah. So y'all wasn't gonna do shit. Yeah, so why am I gonna give my boy, right, all this time when I know the public isn't looking and they don't care? So I'm gonna give him a little slap on the wrist, man, and then we keep it moving. That's what they do when you have a public who don't give a fuck.
You know that open mind. You a rapper, player. You an MC, right? Record labels don't do album inserts no more because no more motherfucker want to read the inside of an album no more. They don't care about that shit. Nigga, throw that beat on, bro. I'm on SoundCloud.
Oh, Max brought up a good point. That is a good point, Max, that when people forget, you're back in danger. Because that's true. Like 15 years from now, Snowden could get possibly killed, you know?
Oh,
once he's out of sight, out of mind.
We still got Open on the phone?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Open. You still on?
Open, you still there, player?
Okay. He's not.
Okay.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Yeah, Open usually be saying something. I was like, what happened to Open? He ain't say nothing. Yeah, no, you're right, Max Evans. No, Snowden is not out. He's not. He's just like, look, and again, I'm going to be real with y'all. Like, who's that?
Oh, that's Open. Open, go ahead.
Open?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you.
I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, man, I need to take the mute button off. I be when y'all talk and I forget to turn it back on. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
No,
you
I was
good.
just gonna say one last thing anyway before I left. There's another angle, and y'all probably have covered it already on different videos. In the forefront of why the general public defends their favorite rich person or their favorite person, because people worship money and power. That's just, you said it, you alluded to a little bit earlier when you said we talk about the poor person or the not so rich person envies and praises the person who has a financial success position, some power or some connections to power. And that person could damn near get away with anything because their supporters wish they was them. Because a lot of times people are informed. I stopped trying to assume that everybody just don't know. Some people know, but they don't care because their response is, well, they got money, I'm broke.
Yeah, that's,
you know,
no,
like
that's the thing.
that's the extent of their give a fuck about us.
Yeah.
Worship somebody who has more than you, who know you wouldn't even shit on you or piss on you. You understand me? And you still gonna excuse their fucking behavior because they have a financial status that you wish you was at. That's just the other angle I want to put.
And thank you, Open
I'm
Mind.
gonna go back and
All right, man. Thank you.
We
I was
appreciate
gonna
you.
say that's exactly the point. That's the problem. What you don't understand is you're in a great position right now, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're in a great position that your voice matters. If you hooked up with 2 million other people and y'all protested, also fought policies, also got community lawyers who are for the community.
Yeah.
Like, things like that can actually work. But the problem is you rather defend a rich asshole. I'm talking about a rich asshole who was a part of planning behind the scenes to get certain things passed that will even further your displacement in society, like what we see right now, where the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and the stats show it's not going to be good for a lot of Americans in the upcoming years.
It's not good for them now. That's why you have, even if we, you know, I know people always point at white folks, but I mean, if you look at the usage of antidepressants among white people, it's very high. You know, a lot of them are. They're drowning. They're drowning right now. You know what I'm saying? So even when we're thinking about the fact that, you know, a lot of people are worshiping these things with these rich folks, you know, it's neo-feudalism. That's what's happening right now. It's a neo-feudalistic approach, and people are willingly walking into it, a form of serfdom. And even when you're thinking about it, I mean, yeah, we cover culture in the sense of like rap music, pop culture. It's popular culture. That's just where we leave it. But we don't worship it. Like, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. It's funny right now. This is the first time in even hip hop history that the rappers' messages across the board does not relate to the average listener's life. I mean, what do you have, like J. Cole?
Because
right?
they align themselves with these assholes that aren't for their communities.
Like, let's think about it. if an alien came down to Earth and they specifically started listening to the current landscape of rap right now, they was like, wow, these are some very violent, extremely rich people. When I looked at the whole Rock Nation brunch, I thought it was very, that's funny. That's a part of the neoliberal, neo-feudalistic, monarchy, oligarchical point. Cause
I saw Elysium.
Yeah, like I mean, it is. It's a nigga Elysium. Like that's what the shit was, and it was weird because a lot of times, and Sid knows me, a lot of times I be feeling uncomfortable when I see shit like that.
Oh, I feel very uncomfortable
Yeah,
because it's like, why would I want to just be a rich asshole instead of like. It's just,
well, it's not even just that, but you're right about it. But it's not even people seeing themselves to be that. They're even just worshiping being on the outside.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like that's the crazy part about
it. Being rich is not the problem. It's being the asshole part that's connected to it is the problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Like when I'm glad you brought up Elysium, because when I looked at the Rock Nation brunch, it's like it's a nigga Elysium, and I'm only using it as not like, oh, Jay-Z's to blame for everything. You know, it's the energy that's being represented across the board, right? Like even the music we listen to, like every day is somebody saying, I can fuck your man, I can fuck your bitch, I got more money than you, I can buy your life twice over. And it's like, do you understand unconsciously what is that doing to you? And you wondering why you walking around, you're angry about poverty.
I feel like we're in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that new Jordan Peele Twilight Zone hosted, by the way.
I really, some days I wake up, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I do know what's going on.
Because I just don't know why enough people, well, there are a lot of people doing stuff. Let me not try to paint a completely fucked up scenario, because I actually do see a lot of people
There's
fighting.
a lot of people doing it.
But there's a lot of people who ain't doing shit either.
Yeah, it's more of... It's more of an antichrist situation. And I'm not just speaking in the space of Christianity, you know what I'm saying? But if you really look at what antichrist really represents, it's a movement. You know, there's this thing, because we think in the singular, we think a hero is the one when there are many. We think of the evil as one, but there is a culture of evil. And to be honest with you, all I see is slave and servant in our culture. Slaves and servants, right? You see the slaves, you see how they don't want to talk about certain things, right? Those are, slaves and masters, excuse me, I apologize. But you get a lot of that. Like, it's better to be, a king in hell as opposed to being a servant in heaven or some shit like that. You have a lot of people that they're frolicking for crumbs. Like that's why you have all of these people enamored by celebrity. They're hoping that a celebrity throws them a bone, you know. And the reason why I really like to use the Rock Nation brunch, because I mean, if you really look at it, like we all on the outside. Everybody's on the outside. You saw how happy Casanova was to be there.
Oh, he got a long ass.
Toast about nigga. Bro.
He has a huge ass draw.
But think about that. Like, that's what it is. Like you saw.
I'd be like, why the fuck is his mouth that big?
And then Meek Mill was on Twitter talking about, I seen niggas like sell their soul to take a picture to be next to Jay-Z. Nigga, you happy to be out of jail. You know, this ain't no disrespect to Meek Mill, but we got to understand that a lot of times many of us have balls and chains around our necks.
And look, if you don't have the backbone to do it or whatever, that's fine. Just don't get in the way of the people who do. That's the thing that really gets on my nerves too. That's the thing that I think is very annoying.
Yeah, it's the crazy part about it, but when you really look at all of it, it's like even with the R. Kelly thing. Like I come from a set of friends that growing up, like we would have robbed that nigga. We didn't like him anyway, and he looked like food.
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying. Like I didn't understand what's the point of this protecting of this false royalty. this false nobility class.
Oh, it's building up quickly.
You remember in what was it, Nightfall with Bane and Batman, right? And remember when Bane, you know, did what he was supposed to do, which I think is, you know, one of the more awesome villains. But did you see immediately the rich became the food? They start snatching them out. And this, if you all,
hey, you know what?
This has happened historically in many countries where the economies have collapsed.
Yeah, but this is what the people don't comprehend. The technology is really advanced right now.
Extremely sophisticated.
So while many of you are being stupid and defending these people, they're building up weaponry that you won't be able to handle when you finally do wake up and want to fight back because you have no other choice. I also want to talk about even Hulu. I can't remember the two black men's name on Instagram. They do a great coverage on the business transaction that happens in the tech world and streaming. I'm gonna look them up and eventually just put them on a the comment part for y'all to check them out. But Hulu, for example, is owned by Disney 60%.
60,
so
yeah, absolutely.
Disney themselves basically have 30% of the company, but also Fox. But Disney owns Fox, so Disney owns 60% of Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Now Disney is gonna also, on top of that, come out with their own streaming service,
which they have,
that they're getting ready to launch, and it's gonna be launching soon.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're going to try to do is kick Netflix out of the market,
circling the wagon. That's
now,
why.
This is the problem with people, all you people who have your hopes of building up your own company and all that. Imagine this, because the government for now has been stopping Disney from buying up AT&T and Warner. So right now,
becoming a monopoly.
Disney is one step away from owning all of you. One step away. They're one step away. One part is the government holding them off of buying AT&T and also Warner. But they are one step away of doing that. And look, I'm canceling I canceled already the Hulu thing, and let me tell you why. I am not going to be in support of a company like Disney owning fucking everything.
Well, quick,
getting rid of other independent animators, getting rid of also other people in other fields, so they could just be the fucking god of everything.
Well, so here's the thing about it, yo. Disney, if you do the research of Disney, they have gotten a leg up on deals before a lot of companies because they are a government baby. There's a lot of government babies companies. In fact, the corporations actually represent a majority of the welfare in this country. It's not the average man and woman. It's actually corporate. And in fact, corporations are listed as a single entity, almost like a human, basically. You look at a situation like Amazon, you see how much money they take in and how little taxes they pay, right? Disney will get what they want, pending more deregulatory presidential puppets are put in office as well. Because you got to remember, each of these presidents, they're deregulating certain industries to allow for these Fortune 500 corporate monsters to breathe even bigger. Because you got to remember, these presidential candidates, those who come to power, they also are being represented in the donor class as well. So there you have it. That's why when you saw Home Depot, the CEO of the Home Depot was behind Trump. Marvel, the CEO of Marvel was behind Trump, which is, again, a subsidiary now of Disney. So what you see with the game is that it's about who is going to be able to make a race to becoming a true monopoly. And
become king.
And in the classic film network, is not about states anymore. It's about, the corporatizing of government. Which is why if you do your research, there's a difference between USA versus America. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting what we do see here. And yes, absolutely, with Sin, you're right. Again, and Netflix, that's why you see them abandon the Marvel products. That's why they're saying, look, You're not going to hold that shit over our head. We're just going to do our own thing. Besides, the licensing fees are far too much. But, you know, again, Disney was going to kind of toss their weight through the Marvel properties against Netflix to tax them. You see what I'm saying?
And Netflix is not, and Disney is not happy. They want Netflix to bow down and take the knee.
Well, they actually want to break up Netflix. That's what they want to do.
They want them
dismantled.
They want them done. They want them done and gone.
Yeah, you see, you know, Netflix is a disruptor, not necessarily a perfect company, but you can tell when
because they got their issues.
Yeah, but you can tell when industries run into disruptors.
But let's talk about one of their competitors, Hulu, that is owned 60% by Disney. They actually had a film out on Hulu that is about a grown man having a sexual relationship.
Yeah, the strange ones.
With a young boy, and having it be this film noir, very artistic type of film, right?
Trash ass film,
right? This is basically what Hulu actually have on their streaming service, The Strange Ones. And again, this is supposed to be a love story with a grown man,
albeit vague though. It's a
little boy.
Yeah, it's an insinuated love story.
Oh, very much true, because you don't know that it's a love story until you get to the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, they try to say, well, even the directors of the film, they was like, well, this film is, even though it's, you know, it's supposed to be considered an inappropriate relationship, it's really about how this relationship helped the little boy to grow.
No.
And how there was some form of love there.
Yeah, man, I remember I was looking at it and I says, I said, it smells like pedophilia. It smells like pedophilia, you know, but we watched it, and sure enough, at the end of the film, I was like, I figured that, you know.
Sure enough, it was.
Yeah, it was. So, again, but the whole point is this, you all. You can do whatever you want to do, right? With your subscriptions, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because the real issue is that the powers are being wrestled behind the scenes. A lot of times, corporations are in collusion, in a sense, against the common folk as competition. You know, having one of you all to come out of the ether with some sort of disrupting product, right? But for the most part, they're pretty much in agreement altogether with stepping on the little man, right? But behind the scenes, what would happen, and what always happens, is usually have civil wars between corporations, companies, and even political powers, which is also waged through the face and the veneer of companies as well. Because a lot of times, you know, certain companies are pushed by different politicians against a particular company, or one company or said company runs to a group or a specific politician to get on another company. There's a lot of civil war shit going on.
Ralph, is that true that Joe Budden happily reviewed that film?
Why
really?
would you say that, Ralph?
We'll double check on that as well. While Ralph said the Joe Budden podcast was so happy to review that disgusting movie.
Really? Joe Budden, is that true with your yellow stained armpits on your tank top? Is that true? That is true. He reviewed this film.
That's what Ralph is saying.
Somebody's saying that wasn't the film. Mikey Moore. All right now. I was going to say, come on, Joey. Damn, that's pretty... You are literally on some New Jersey fiending shit.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Come on, what the fuck you reviewing that film for? Because I thought there was it another one?
Well, RCH32 said he did. Okay, we're going to just have to go double check. We'll double check.
I'm about to punch it in right now.
Yeah, we're going to have to double check. But we're all about partnering up with people who are disruptors, whether they're going the stealth route or the open route. But disruptors, there has to be more, because this monopoly on wealth and power is not looking good for the rest of us.
Okay, Mikey Moore saying it was a different film, but with a similar plot.
Okay, what was the film called?
Y'all let us know what the film was called. We're going to have to roast Joey. And that dirty ass Scully on his head. But Yeah, the whole point is like we're saying, you all of this, you got to remember, as citizens, as normal, regular citizens, we're not privy to being in the background with a lot of this stuff, but the information floats out nonetheless. Whistleblowers have court transcripts all the time. Authors break in, documents in their books all the time, on their websites all the time. Of course, you have YouTubers, you have people on VMO. The information is out there, to be able to read and check out this information and verify. You know what I'm saying? Like you can even trust, but make sure you verify. You always have to verify.
Okay, so they said it was a Netflix film. The
movie called Abducted. Was it called Abducted in Plain Sight? What was it? Yeah. Was it about child pedophilia?
Oh, look. Oh, this is a documentary. It looks like.
Okay. All right.
Crime. Then. Yeah, it was a documentary. No, okay. So, I mean, what did you feel Joey was too ecstatic about it? Like, what's the thing?
It looks like some old white hipster millennial shit think pieces that Joe Budden would try to have adulation or to appear pseudo intellectual because he watched it. There's a lot of that shit go. Abducted in Plain Sight. Okay, it looks like some pedophile shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, from the art.
Well, that's what it is. It's the poster. It's a documentary on an actual pedophile.
What was he happy about it though? Was he saying it was good? Did they what was he? Yeah, that looks disgusting. Seeing just she's on a few of the screenshots. I'm not pulling that shit up on my computer. I don't feel like seeing that in my face. Pedophiles really disgusting.
It's just watching the cover of the documentary.
And all I see is a Partridge Family looking bitch up there, so that looks disturbing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Frey says it's about rape and all kinds of shit. Okay, we got you. All right. Well, I don't know why he would be excited about it, to tell the story or what. And saying that they were caught or they were killed. That's the only time I'd be happy in that situation, if the person got killed that was doing all of that type of atrocity. You know what I'm saying? But it's even like when we was watching.
Well, someone said he wasn't happy. He was amazed at the disturbing story. So he was amazed that it was able to take place, I guess.
Well, did he do one of those things where he was like, "I'm gonna tell you how my sick and twisted mind works. My mind works differently." No, it doesn't, nigga. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, but
he got worried about his boss getting caught up in this Me Too purge.
Oh yeah, take that.
Look, I'm all for a purge for guilty people.
Yeah. Oh, you're right about that. What was I about to say? Mine was slipping. I'm having a Joe Budden moment. What I will say is this though. We watched the first episode of that bullshit Ted Bundy thing. And
I turned that shit off.
We was like, man, I told people that Ted Bundy was not a genius.
He was fucking slow.
That fucking bum ass cracker with them goddamn Brady Bunch pants.
Teddy was he
just like to hear himself talk.
He was a bum ass cracktard. The only person who kept it real for the first episode we saw before we clicked off was the white girl who was like, she wasn't impressed with him. She was like, he was kind of slow.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? It was like,
But the intro, they was like trying to make it seem like he was a genius. Like even when he was, I don't want to actually say this, so it was fucked up. But he was just basically pontificating in court, just like masturbating to his own thoughts while he was talking. It wasn't nothing.
I wouldn't say it was necessarily masturbating per se. What it is that when I had some gel in my hand.
Oh my God, you're so fucking smart, man. How can you be a killer? You're so smart.
Well, it's not necessarily.
You're so smart that you even got caught, man. You're a genius.
Well, I didn't get caught. What I did was slow the pursuit down. Just permanently, temporarily.
Wait, let me record this because you're a
I think
genius.
The red light is on.
Yes, there we go. The red light, is it on?
I kind of like those little subtle nuances.
The red light is on. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, really, what took place is, what I like to do is cut the crust off of my bread, and I think Walt Whitman was an excellent writer.
I mean, I'm just shocked that you even know who he is.
Well, I just kind of like to randomly rumble and spill off into incomplete, incoherent thoughts and don't put a punctuation. Where I leave it open-ended question, it sounds like, I'm being hypothetical and that somehow evokes intelligence.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yes, I'm telling you all. We was watching that shit. My mother remembers that shit. She says, man, fuck that dude. That guy was not smart.
They were blowing him up.
Oh,
big time.
Jamaican Queen, they love him. They love him and Charles Manson.
He was just so smart, so handsome.
I said, wait a minute, let me get this straight. So you're not going to look past black skin and not cross the street, but this motherfucker etched a goddamn swastika in the middle of his forehead, and you're talking about he's supremely intelligent.
Also, Mikey, he does that because he's on that juice, if you know what we mean. You know. But go ahead,
Rory,
Prince.
what was that? What was it again?
He was talking about bowling, Joey. You was talking about bowling.
Bowling. Let me tell you how my mind works, Rory. Mo, will you shut the fuck up? Like, bro, come on. Like, I'm not watching this. I'm done. Look, it's not all that complicated, to be honest with you all. I will say this. Like, Sin and I will say this. A lot of times we're tolerating stuff by default. We're watching people by default because they just happen to be there. Okay? Yes, Vincent, you're right. Psychopaths give off the illusion of sophistication, i.e., white America. Anyway, we're just having fun. But
no, yeah, you're right. It's very rare. Actually, 99% of the people they said are smart. They're just dumbasses, and the cops were even dumber. You know how the cops was like on the movie Scream?
Okay, Scream. Okay, I'll take Scream.
The horror film that's supposed to, was supposed to be a satire on horror films.
Yes.
That's how a lot of cops act in real life. Like, people really try to say, like, some of these dudes are just so sophisticated and intelligent. Actually, no. It's like, even with the Ken and Barbie rapists and killers, they basically took his DNA, his semen, but they just never tested it. And they just thought, because in their European mind on looks, they thought he was so good looking, they were good looking as a couple. They was like, they couldn't do that. So it's like, it's not about the intelligence of 99.9% of these bad people. It's really like, wow, the cops in them, they're really that biased, and they're really even dumber than the bad person, that has been committing these crimes. So that's why they're like, wow, I can't believe they got away with it for this long.
They got away with it because of white adulation was fawning over them. In a world where Ted Bundy was not all that intelligent, and neither were the white people that were supposed to prosecute him. What has happened? It's the same thing. Look, listen to how they describe Donovan, Dr. Jack Kevorkian, Ted Bundy. For God's sakes, they have made the mythology of Jack the Ripper something to aspire to.
He's just a rapist.
With
a stinky French coat.
Why?
I mean, like, come on. He had a stinky long coat.
I'd be so tired
of... He was raping women on the street at night.
Well, I tell you how many times... You know how many times I was tired of nigga rappers? I get to slashing niggas up like Jack the Ripper.
They do that in Gaim, too, in UK.
Jack the Ripper.
You're a fairy boy.
Jack the Ripper. Ripper. What the fuck you keep praising this fucking hobo white killer? Fucking bum ass white killer sleeping under bridges and killing folks.
Oh man!
It was like when all the niggas were fascinated with the Capones and Mussolinis and the fettuccinis and the lasagnas. It's like, come the fuck on, man, with all of this. I mean, if you're going to go that route, man, like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? So even when niggas be referencing Ted Bundy's in their rhymes, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got probably pink undies. I kill a nigga like Ted Bundy.
Yeah, Ted Bundy was a dumbass. That's why he was picking up young girls who were just impressionable.
Yeah, man, come on.
It's like when people be like, it's like, what's the Gacy dude? The ugly fat clown?
John Wayne Gacy that it was based off of.
Yeah, You are preying on children. Somehow you are intelligent? What? Like, why aren't we seeing serial killers who prey on military people with combat skills? I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people, like, the bar is so fucking low. You're preying on children and young, impressionable girls and boys, and somehow, oh my God, you're so smart.
Oh,
I can't believe they fell for that.
I can't think of the nigga rapper I was listening to. This dumb motherfucker referenced Jeffrey Dahmer. I turned that shit off. I said Jeffrey Dahmer cannibalized, mutilated, raped, and murdered black men. Okay? In fact, there's one of these rich elite billionaires in Russia who actually has a cast molded in one of the death photos in the position of one of the black men whose heads was decapitated and legs was decapitated in one of the death photos, but he molded a sculpture in that exact figure. He has it hanging in his mansion. Like, if you're talking about some crazy, bizarre shit in that space.
They want to force it. They want to be on some Silence of the Lambs shit.
But there is a class of psychopaths that are actually on that, and what happens is trickling down into the pop culture, and the dumbass niggas think it's cool. Like, they had that YWM Yellow Boy that I had murder on my mind. And like, you listen to the lyrics, and I say, yo, it's crazy. But the people in the comments say, this is so awesome. This is so cool. You know what I always laugh about all of this shit? We have a bunch of pretend psychopaths. And to be honest, right. So it's like this. There were guys I knew that was like, yo, man, you know, I'm a killer, man. You know, I'm a killer, man. Don't push me, nigga. I'm a killer. So, man, let me tell y'all a story real quick. So a guy got shot up on our street, right? You know, and I told Sin, right? I told Sin this story. The brother's intestines were hanging out. I walked up to him and had to make sure he was okay. Had family there, and then we made sure we called the police. But certain people I saw who was always these motherfuckers were Bloods, I knew. And they were always talking about they were killers. They were knocking niggas out at the gas station and shit. Them niggas was behind the dumpsters throwing up. They were shaking off in the corner. And I says, look at this shit. This is the fucking baby retarded culture that we have.
Yeah, but can we also be honest that there are a lot of psychopaths that they're punks as well? Like, it's like people who are like waiting for the Walking Dead scenario to happen so they can hook up with other gangs and be hyenas and just gang up on people.
Well, that's what I'm speaking though too. I'm speaking to the coward energy.
Yeah,
though.
no, I'm saying, but in a society, let's say if your society is built as 1-on-1, right? That punk has to actually fight somebody who can defend themselves. That person it will run away.
And that's my point about this culture.
Engage.
That's my point about this culture. That's why I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of gangster music, quote unquote, it gets on my nerve because I know what it is. We actually don't have gangster music. It's actually coward music. Like, to me, gangster music was like Dead Prez or Paris, or if you're talking about Immortal Technique, like that's gangster music to me. You know what I'm saying? That's that shit you ride to the revolution with. You know what I'm saying?
And also, just to interrupt you real quick, Prince. Prince will be doing some bedtime stories. I think you should call them Allen Temple stories. And I'm not
Don't
being
be disrespecting Adamsville like
that.
No,
but I'm actually being serious because I do think these stories are interesting, and I think people will like them. Well, have Allen Temple stories.
Well, I know all the ladies got their teacup cultures where they got their story time about.
And this is about just real things that happen, you know.
I can see that.
But you're not trying to glorify it.
Hell no. If I was glorified, I'd still be in that shit. I'm
happy. I put like the creepy.
I'm happy with you making me oatmeal in the morning.
I'll put the creepy, tinker music in while you're talking.
Yeah, what was I about to say though?
You was talking about gangster is really. Dead Prez and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the Banquets of Thieves with a collar. That's a fucking gangster album. You know what I'm saying? Like, the little UK nigga named M9 out there in London. The shit he raps about.
M9.
Yeah, M9, man. Like that, when he did Strange Fruit. Man, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. If you really into that hip hop shit, when you get done, punch in on YouTube, M9 Strange Fruit. and go listen to that album. That whole album is just gangster. Like all this shit about trap or die, I'm flipping bricks and all of that shit. That even with the YMW nigga, the one that's arrested, right? Because he clearly was out of his mind. But the fucking nerds in the comment section, fucking dorks. I gotta scroll down to the fucking comment section.
Yo, man,
and
this makes me want to clean my gun, man.
And I gotta read comments by fucking dorks that don't come outside and they watch Vegeta and they debate about Vegeta and Yu-Gi-Oh all day and Naruto.
This be their comments though. Man, this went so hard it made me want to kill my cat.
This is so gangster. It makes me want to rob my wallet. And let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong if you're into DBZ because Sin and I like that shit. Like we like anime and shit like that. But the fact that even when I'm clicking for research, I gotta go to the comment section and read fucking dork ass comics. Yeah, man, this is so cool, man. It just makes me want to do.
I'm sorry, for some reason, all these dorks they just sound like Drake to us. But that's why we.
Yeah, man, this is so cool, man. It's just like this is so hard. It makes me want to unbraid my hair. So let me tell you what I don't like about this culture, right? So now that's the litmus test. Now everybody's tough. Okay, so I said what I said about the story about the brother, and he received help, but I was able to calm the brother down because he said he thought he was going to die. I looked at the wound. I just said it was a clean wound. You're not, I don't see any other fluids coming out. I think you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But they took him on, and from my understanding, he survived, right? But so when I look at the situation with the brother, he's not a brother. I mean, he's completely psychopath, right? But the guy that said "Murder on My Mind," right? That song, right? Thank you very much, Shot by Nolan. A bunch of BuzzFeed yuppies, you're right. But so the little guy that was rapping about "Murder on My Mind," I had to go back and I was like looking at the video. It was clear. Look at his interview. The boy was fucking disturbed. Like that's not gangster. That's not gangster. That's exploitation, in fact, because the record labels, they smell that shit. They know what that is. It's money. Just like when Jimmy Iovine told Suge Knight, after Suge Knight called to let him know that Tupac died, Jimmy Iovine said this, well, nothing beats a dead man's sales. So, of course, with an industry with that type of energy, they would love the little boy that killed his best friends, and he sung about it in his lyrics. And the dumbass BuzzFeed complex dorks were sitting there talking about how gangster this was.
You're being too hard because what we like to go into the psychology of his brain. We really want to know how it works, how it moves, why he did it.
I get murder on my mind. Yeah, man, this is so gangster.
But they don't want to study Einstein or study people like Harriet Tubman or Malcolm X. Why? You know what's so interesting? Why people always want to study the mind of a stupid-ass criminal who's only gotten away with stuff because of a biased structure that allowed them to get away with it so long. You know, that's very interesting to me. They never want to actually study the psychology of dope people.
Well, you had to ask who are dope people to them. They thought little YMW was dope. I saw somebody that was fucked up. Like, I'm different. Like, and you be around shit like that, fucked up energy when you see it. That little boy was fucked up, and he turned himself in. He turned himself in because he got tired of them two boys' souls haunting him. There are people who have killed, and they cannot sleep. When I looked at the YMW dude, allegedly, that looked like an individual that couldn't sleep. Mm-hmm. But then again, this is coming from someone who's been outside. The dorks online who don't go outside, they thought it was cool. But if you know like I know, and some of you all in the chat, if you've been around killers like I have, there are a lot of killers who have dealt with certain things in certain times in their past lives, and they don't get a rest. They don't get sleep. Their women don't like being around them. They got women all through these states that got bodies on them.
Notice how people they don't be like, man, I really wanted to study the mind of a Granville T. Woods.
Nope.
I really want to study the mind of a Tesla.
Nope.
I really want to study the mind. Like, it's always a
degenerate.
Jack the Ripper, stinky person.
It's a degenerate. That's why we have a degenerate culture, though. We have a degenerate culture. And here's the funny part about it. The reason why the fucking dorks that they are, those same people that they claim they're infatuated with, they would be scared to be in the room with them. Those people would make them uneasy. Those same Vegeta dorks in them comment section, do you really believe they want to be in a room by themselves with YMW? I know those types of motherfuckers.
It's like even the game bitch ass. Like, it was funny when on one of his videos, he was eating the chicken leg like he was a gangster. Like,
yeah.
Nigga, I mean, what? I'm okay. You eating chicken, nigga?
But that's the thing about it, though.
You know, like,
and that's why I said, you know, people be laughing, but I'm telling you, it's a fucking BuzzFeed dork culture, and a lot of these, it's like even when I'm listening to Montana 300, I think the nigga's a dope lyricist, right? Do I look at Montana 300 like he's a fucking killer any more than I look at anyone else? No, he's a performer. Now, any human has the potential to take life at any point in time. If you understand this, then you would not raise or praise certain people above other folks because you think they're more of a killer. That's not the case. So when I'm like, again, when you go to these comment sections, like whether they're under YMW or if they're under a Lil Baby video or especially fucking World Star Hip Hop video, that's where all of the fucking Vegeta Dragon Ball Z dorks run to and say, this is so gangster.
But
this is so
let's
gangster.
Put it even in context, right? You're not trying to kill MMA fighters. You're not trying to kill Secret Service. You're not trying to kill Navy SEALs, right? Things that one, even if you can go into the mindset of violence, you can say, wow, man, the most exclusive Navy SEALs, you, one guy or one woman, you took them out? Shit.
I tell you,
my hat goes to you. No, you're killing children. You're killing regular fucking civilians, and we're supposed to be amazed by that.
Look,
like,
man,
anybody could go in their car and just run somebody down. Like, there's nothing.
That's so gangster.
There's nothing cool about that.
Hey, you know who fucking gangster to me? Michael Jai White. I would not run up on that motherfucker.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't run it. Michael Jai White's scowl on his face alone is gangster.
He can kick a lot of ass.
You see what I'm saying? But these
I want
dudes,
to see more films from him.
One of my favorite actors. But here's the thing about it, though. Even me growing up around gun violence, you know, drive-bys, being caught in shootouts, there is nothing gangster about seeing some scraggly-ass, dread-headed, no-aiming bitch shooting in the direction of children, mothers, black men coming home off the bus stop getting struck down after working a fucking long-ass shit. I used to hate them bitches. I used to tell you bitches ain't shit. You motherfuckers ain't shit. Hey, bro, I'm going to put a hot slug in your chest. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You can't aim, even if you tried, because y'all hit everybody else but the intended target. There is nothing gangster about them motherfuckers.
That's why we
holding the pistol sideways, all of that type of shit.
Stop it. It's like
stop celebrating the culture.
Like these wannabe gangsters, they're so pathetic. They can't fight. They like you said, they're not even real marksmen. You know what's impressive? Body Biotactical, Michael J. White. Those guys are impressive. Not some scraggler who's shooting their gun sideways and accidentally kill their friend. Or when someone isn't looking, kills them. Or run somebody over. Or knock out somebody when they're not looking. Like, it's coward. It's like people now think cowardice behavior is the, like you're like you said, is gangster. No, it's not.
It's not gangster, man. And that's the thing about even the little niggas that rap about the shit. I'm gonna tell you what they're doing, y'all. This is the hustle. They're rapping about their label head's life. You gotta remember, there's a lot of OGs that came out of the 80s and 90s that they're running the rap labels right now, and they actually live that life. And so they hire a little dude that, you know, he got a nice little flow about him. His voice sounds very nice on the track, and he instructs him how, you know, what you say and how you say it. A lot of times these little dudes are just poor little niggas that may have sold a little bit of weed here and there.
You know what wasn't impressive?
You see what I'm saying?
When that 4'11" girl bop that white dude that tried to pull her over the counter desk, who he looked like, even though he was sloppy, but he looked like he was around like 6'3".
There you go right there, Sean. I mean, look at the 21 Savage shit. Lies.
007.
Lies. 21.
James Bond.
21. Man, wow. And the same dorks was under his video. Man, this is so gangster that it makes me want to go fuck myself. Now, there's nothing. Let me tell you something about that scraggly ass dreads running around in the street shooting at people with the Draco and hiding in dumpsters when the K9 units run through. Ain't nothing gangster about that life.
I fucked the bitch, you know, and all that shit. That's corny.
Niggas,
you know, I beat the bitch. Okay.
Niggas coming out of their old sweaty ass apartments because the lights been turned off.
I was like,
it's musty.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's cool. You beat up a woman who was into you. Great. You're so gangster, man. You're really doing it. I'm scared of you.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Look, let me tell you something. When y'all look at a little nigga like Lil Baby, shit, nigga, that's the polished hood. That nigga looking clean, he's smelling good, his clothes fresh, he got money on him. But somebody who actually is stuck in that environment, they in fucking hell. They got to deal with all types of shit. There's nothing gangster about that shit. You know what's gangster? Our government. Our corporatism, corporate monopoly, our duopoly that we have, the oligarchs that run shit, being able to circumvent law, being able to put money behind a president, a potential presidential candidate, so then they can look out for your ass while they at the head of the executive branch. That's fucking gangster.
Yeah, and just on the physical level, you know, boxers, MMA fighters, a lot of people who are in elite sectors of the military. I'm just talking about skill-wise levels. You know, mixed martial arts, which is MMA, but it's like UFC, you know, things where people are actually using technical skills and actually intelligence to fight, because like even boxers understand pressure points. That's why they know, okay, I'll punch somebody with a right hook to the temple because I know what that will do to somebody else who's also a skilled fighter, you know? You know, so it's really interesting, though, that we call people who are, again,
cowards,
targeting people who aren't fighters, who are regular civilians, people who just make dinner, watch Netflix, go out the rest of the day, take their kids to school, or some girlfriend who has a crush on them or something, beating those people asses and shooting innocent people. That makes you cool and a gangster. You're not even fighting somebody who is a skilled fighter. So, you know, we do have to change the culture. That's just some corny shit.
I remember old terrible tank nigga in one of my old hoods. A dirty nigga. You know what I'm saying? But they thought he was so gangster. I said, nigga ain't gangster, he dirty. You niggas shooting at a pool party. It's children there. You know, you got women that then took off. They go to the pool party with their child. They ain't looking to see no slugs fly their way. You know what I'm saying?
Also, Prince, before we close out, I'm laughing because look, Strategy King started trouble already. He said Jay-Z and Meek Mill tried to copy Kanye's efforts, and now that is down the drain.
And you know what?
Strategy
Kanye
King is the leader, Jay-Z and Meek the followers.
Yeah, man. But you know what, man? Nothing will be ever as gangster as that dildo that's in Kanye's ass every night.
That's true.
The Kardashians are gangster.
He said, and now their efforts have already flopped before it even started.
Don't nobody care about Kanye's Strategy King.
No, but I'm saying, look, that may be true about Jay-Z and Meek Mill, and we will laugh, but that doesn't mean Kanye is better, though. I mean, he is still taking dildos up the ass by his king/queen Kim Kardashian and her gangster family.
Yeah, man, come on now. Let's be real about that. But the whole point of it, that culture of like world star hip hop gangster, it's cosplay, y'all. And then a lot of times those niggas are being extorted. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting pinned. But what is gangsters? They're record labels they're throwing their ass in them 360 deals. You know what I'm saying? What did he say? He says, Prince, let's be real. You can't dispute anything. I stated. And you know how Strategy King is when he talks. It takes him 5 millennia to get to his point.
He be talking bullshit most of the time. He be like, "What's the next bullshit thing I'm about to say?"
Strategy King, you got the time? It's about one. You speaking Klingon, nigga? Like, what? I just be listening to Strategy King. I'm like, this nigga here. I don't know what he's saying, but I don't know. I've lost where I lost it, but hopefully somebody will pick it up. You know, I mean, it's whatever, man. But we'll see where it all leads, man. I do believe the one-step initiative from some of the people I've seen that have been supporting it and some of the things they've been talking about. It seems pretty legit, and anything to crack down on that prison industrial complex is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, but, absolutely.
Yeah. I know we clown, man. Sin be telling me all the time like you clowning a lot, but it's just whatever, man.
It's just fun.
Yeah, you got to smile. Who said you got to smile to keep from crying? I remember.
Yeah, we're not trying to let. I mean, we all, even though knowing all these things, we're not gonna let it make us go crazy. Because
the shit we living crazy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes with us, we be like, man, before we go crazy, we'll probably go crack Netflix open and watch some shit. You know what I'm saying?
And we're about to close down now, guys. But if you want to watch the video on Jeffrey Epstein, is on our Instagram page. I just put it in the chat for y'all, and I'm also putting it in the description box of this video so you could check that out later.
Also, Sin, your birthday's coming up, baby.
Yeah, I know.
Sin is going to be 19, y'all.
Yeah.
Can y'all believe that? She's turning 19.
They already know I'm not 19.
What did you say? You said, is it Pisces season?
It is Pisces season. That's right.
Pisces season.
That's right.
Fried catfish.
Hey.
I
mean,
you
want to hate.
I
but
hate on no Pisces. I know
saying.
Everybody's obsessed with Pisces.
I'm just saying, though. Well, you 10 years older than me, so.
Well, you're 10 years older than me.
As a Scorpio, how do you feel about that? Full beard.
Sin
older
wanted.
Gentleman.
She wanted to experience patriarchy. Don't put Sin out there like that. Sin is 28. She's going on 36. Sin showed me some pictures of her when she was, how old were you, like 16? I was like, man, your
clarify face... because that you didn't start off correct.
What didn't start off correct? What are you talking about?
Because of the topic of discussion, people may think of it the wrong way. I was showing him my graduation, not graduation pictures, but my high school pictures and stuff like that.
I was like, man, your round face has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
Sin has an incredibly round Africoid head.
Okay, I mean, like, what? Why you keep going on about the shape of my head?
Africoid.
Damn.
Y'all remember when them in phrenology? Y'all remember them white scientists when they took that little clamp tool and they put it on the
Prince
head?
Has a North African Arab shaped head.
That's
the shaped head that Prince had.
He has a round.
He has an Arab Middle Eastern shaped
Sincere
head.
has aggressive.
That's the type of head you have.
She have an aggressively spherical Africoid head.
Mm-hmm.
Your head, you look like. I would guess you have a lot of you have a lot of West African in you.
Of course.
West African.
Yeah, of course.
Sin don't like talking.
That's the
talking about her round head.
The superior branch. Don't get mad at me because
Sin don't like talking about her round head.
You a Middle Eastern.
Let me tell you what Sin be doing.
I mean, I have to watch out for you.
I'm gonna tell you.
Y'all kidnapping
we're gonna be starting
now.
A new couples podcast. Prince here. And we're just gonna talk about our couple life.
Mm-hmm.
How many of y'all would like that?
I don't know if I want to do. That's just a little bit too much.
I'm not going into anything else, but I'm just having our conversations.
Sometimes you could be loose lips, especially if you drink.
I have my loose lips.
Especially if you drink.
I don't drink.
You know, so.
I don't drink. I denounce that. What I was going to say is that what I was about to say.
I don't know. You've been talking a lot of bullshit right now.
You having these Joe Budden moments. I shouldn't have said that nigga's name.
Yeah, now you got his consciousness.
Fuck. I gotta just go find me a dirty fitted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sincere Ignorance is a genius. No, she is. She is a genius. Sincere is very smart. Very smart. And I'm always interested in what she's doing. Because I know she's always doing something. You know, and she's always sending me something. You know, she's sending me the calculations and stuff like that. And she's sending me coordinates, longitudinal and latitudinal coordinates. I'm like, what is this?
Like he said.
Oh. Rory.
It's probably, in there. That is true. Prince, you know.
I'm just tired. I'm sleepy.
You know that you're gonna enter each age bracket before me. You do know that, like 40s, 50s, and all that. You will be introduced.
Well, that's what you get for being obsessed with dating older men.
Stop it. You ain't that older.
You the one that talking about I'm 15
years older. They said you see now.
Prince see now. That's right. This world is driving me crazy. This world has driven a black man crazy. Y'all gonna see me Kanye Weston in a little bit. Just rants randomly.
You see, you got people now, they gonna come in here and they're gonna be like, what the fuck is this podcast about? You got Robert Kraft, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein.
That's enough shit to drive you crazy. Look at literally the names you mentioned. All that shit drives you crazy. Ain't no positive role models on that damn screen.
Bethany said Prince up here talking like somebody drunk uncle. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Now imagine when he actually get liquor, he just won't shut up.
I did have a little bit of liquor.
I know you did.
What did you give me this
yeah.
What is the swastika German
when
beer
I give
shit?
him a drink, he never shuts up. And then he talks about private stuff that he's not supposed to be talking about.
I have not said nothing about nothing.
Not yet because you didn't drink too much yet.
No. I didn't say nothing about nothing. Thank you, Christmas. You're absolutely right. Yes, with our scheduling of our videos, we are on a Pisces schedule. Sin doesn't believe that.
And what do you mean by that?
I already said what I said, woman. Don't put no question mark behind it like you're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out. Move around.
You know, now I'm going to hot comb your beard, too. So you keep talking. That would be a torture mechanism.
You're going to make me look like a Hasidic Jew.
With a tan.
Yeah. What, don't they say they have a lot of Jews in Upper Manhattan where Rosenberg stays? Yeah. Rosenberg and Ebro. Aren't Rosenberg and Ebro, aren't they neighbors?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Ebro, fight the power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but anyway, I think we just kind of going off. A lot of y'all used to like these types of conversations we had. Spill the beans, Prince. Nah, Melon, I ain't gonna do that. We all right. But no, Sin does have a birthday coming up. You know what I'm saying? You know, did you want to do a live stream on your birthday?
Mm-hmm. We are for our Patreon and our Return to the Thought Crimes platform.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Return to Thought Crimes.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, are you okay with ending it, or are you gonna keep being everybody's drunk uncle and keep rambling, according to some people?
You remember the Allman Brothers? What was it? Was that they did the song "Stories" with the Rambling Man song?
Yeah. Also, I appreciate the birthday wishes from everyone, from Strategy King, from Open Mind, from Max, from Mikey. For Christmas, everybody who's been wishing me a happy birthday, soon to be birthday, I appreciate it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Prince is gonna end the stream, so I'm gonna wait till Prince is ready. Then I'm gonna. Why you give me that look?
I don't know what. Yeah, come on, man.
I know you're happy. Look,
what am I happy?
I like it when you're happy.
What am I happy about?
You're happy. That's good.
What am I happy about?
So everybody,
I'm gonna get some burritos.
Okay. You can get some more.
We don't got no more donuts, do we?
No.
We got these cookies.
Yeah, you got some.
I don't know why you like hard chocolate chip cookies.
No, because these are organic
I know they're organic, but
cookies.
man, goddamn, these fucking brick.
Look, you could go to a bakery and get the soft ones.
Brick.
Or you could go bake them.
Fucking cocaine
buy from
cookies.
The store. Cocaine cookies.
Brick ass cookies. Crunching all in your mouth. You be trying to finish a conversation. So I thought At least with the soft cookies, you can slide a cookie in your mouth while you're talking. Not them bitches.
Oh my goodness. Yep. And it says it's supposed to be peanut free. Let's see what else is in here. Organic wheat flour cookies.
Sin always getting organic
and real
stuff,
organic
man.
chocolate chips.
You know what I'm saying? She know. When did you give me? You got me some organic spiked. What was it? Some spiked seltzer water or some shit. Cause I tried to. What was it? It was it was a Budweiser somewhere, and I thought I was gonna drink. I don't like Budweiser. That shit disgusting. But she was like, "You're not drinking that."
Yeah, but Budweiser's nasty.
And she went and found some organic shit.
And that's a white man beer too. Like niggas don't be drinking no Budweiser.
Yeah.
At least not that I've seen.
Some Allen Temple niggas do. There's some bankhead niggas.
He said those cookies will chip a tooth.
Yeah, Mike, you know what I'm talking about? They just be interrupting the conversation. You gotta wait to chew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about people. One photo I put up on you that they said you look like Jussie. They thought you was Jussie for a second. How do you feel about
them? Was some racist niggas.
Wait, I'm just saying. How do you feel? First you was, first they said, you pretty dark actually, Prince. Then they went from that. Then some people be like, hold up, we talked too soon. You looking like Jussie up in this picture. How do you feel about that?
I don't say nothing to a group of people that supported Eminem during his do-rag phase. They don't know what color I am. They can't even see white supremacy.
Well, to be fair to them, though, Prince, you did draw like 5 different complexions of yourself.
I know what I did. I know what I did, and I was lazy. I didn't change it. But niggas was like, "Oh, you Puerto Rican."
One was extreme though.
Oh, you so light skinned. I get to roast Prince. Nigga, you can't roast me.
There was one.
I'm unroastable.
There was one drawing you did yourself. You look like a fucking pale Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. You remember that one?
But the queen was black though. You weren't one of them round table niggas praying for more light skinned kids.
Oh.
Yeah, that was there was some niggas. What was the other nigga that said? What did he say? He said, the nigga.
Oh, he was funny. He said
dude was mad at me.
No,
too.
he wasn't. He was trying to troll you.
Yeah, he said that.
He said the nigga on Thought Crimes
that looked like this nigga.
That looked like this nigga, which he was referring to Jussie.
Yeah,
is the same nigga telling the truth on Jussie.
You know what I thought was funny about that? I was like, at least y'all didn't call me ugly. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd have been different if somebody said, you look like cat stacks in the face.
I do like sharing that picture of you, though, where you have all the lipstick.
The one that made me laugh.
All over your face.
The one that made me laugh was the guy that sounded like a hard-working Mexican. Did look like a Mexican.
They said, y'all got Prince looking like Sammy Sosa.
Sin's aunt thought I was Hispanic.
Oh yeah, one of my aunts did.
I says no, man.
Thought she was
a
black Hispanic. Well, that was your fault. Again, he came
fault.
to Jersey and he had a fitted hat on because he was looking like an LB nigga. You know how LB come out. You know him.
I don't know what you talking about, man. LB, like, what are you saying?
No, man.
I don't know, man. You have to be there, man. I don't know about the South, man. That's right. I don't know.
So anyway.
The fuck is he talking about? Why are you talking like this,
how
nigga?
Prince had his hair and how he was dressing, he did look like a sandal wearing fucking Puerto Rican from New York.
That's because y'all got a bunch of Puerto Ricans up here.
That's what you looked like. You did.
All niggas in the South know are Mexicans. But when you talking about the Puerto Ricans, that's like a upper East Coast, Southern Eastern board type thing. Southern Eastern thing.
Why LB talks like he from the Bronx though?
I don't know. That's how niggas sound like from the Bronx.
Oh no, some of them Afro Latinos be sounding like that from the Bronx.
I just know he disagrees with everything I say.
Oh no, man, if you was there, it would be. I don't
know, Prince. What makes you think Biggie got shot? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know if they do that where you from, but where I'm from.
Y'all talking about black designers have issues, man. Dapper Dan, man, he be getting the money, man. I don't know.
And y'all be talking about like t-shirts, but where I'm from, like niggas don't rock t-shirts. So, okay, LB, what the fuck? Like, If y'all understood what went on in my mind when some people are talking, I just don't say so. I be like, whatever, man. And he'd be so like, and that's the thing about what part of New York is he from?
If I had to get, he probably isn't from the Bronx, but I would, if I had to profile, I would say he was from the Bronx.
I don't know, man. Yo, a lot of New York niggas, like, they be getting tight, but y'all know y'all got flip mouths. And then, like, if somebody offends y'all make sure y'all jab back a little bit later into the conversation.
I don't know. You mean you talking all this, man? I'm just saying, man.
Like, what did he did one time?
I just think
this
like,
nigga LB would bring up Atlanta randomly in a conversation.
And then I mean, man, you know, I don't know, man.
Cause you be talking to LB like, yo, man, what's your favorite hot dog? Well, you know, like up in New York, man. I mean, we got like a bunch of them, man. I mean, I know they ain't got them in Atlanta.
And then he don't like no place outside of fucking New York, man. Cause remember when I was saying how beautiful North Carolina was? I don't know, man. The women there are fat and ugly, man. I'm just saying, man.
Yo,
I hated North
Carolina.
Carolina.
LB is a true fucking New Yorker, man. There's a lot of dudes in New York who, like, they don't leave the city, period. Like, going foreign to them is going to another borough. Mm-hmm. And you know what's crazy? Like, when we hear, like, outsiders, and this is where outsiders think of you New York niggas. Y'all refer to each other's boroughs like y'all completely different niggas. Like,
well, there's enough differences where it becomes something. And Brandon P, yeah, we of course we know that all New Yorkers don't sound like LB.
Nah, he's just man. He's just like, nah, he's just but he's
one of the types.
One of the archetypes.
One of many archetypes.
I always have fun though. But LB, man, he y'all will know who he is when he call in, because he's gonna tell you right away.
So, man, you know, a lot of black designers, man, they're just struggling. You know, LB, it's like the stats show that, man.
Money, you wouldn't be struggling.
He don't be saying shit like that. You getting money, you won't be struggling. I'm like, nigga, come on. What the fuck are you saying, man?
He makes me laugh. A lot of people make me laugh, man. They do. It does, man. It's even like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Look, here's the thing, though, right? LB is New York. He's a New York nigga till he like dies, right? There's a lot of dudes that are New York niggas I don't have no fucking problem with. You know what I'm saying? I just always shoot back when niggas come from the South. I don't care where you from. I'm like, hey, player, come on now, chill. But like, it is interesting when I watch Ebro, right? It's kind of like a hybrid struggle thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think because he's not originally from New York.
Yeah, you can kind of tell.
Oh, yeah, you could tell. Because
like,
he be trying to force it too much to sound.
Yeah, like if you look at 50, that nigga could not be from nowhere else but New York.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You look at Jay-Z, he can't be no... You cannot get a nigga like Jay-Z from Utah.
Mikey Moore started trouble. New York women weave smell like train smoke.
Oh, my God. Okay. Mikey Moore trying to get a civil war going on in the chat.
Trying to get in trouble.
I didn't say that.
Oh, no.
I don't know what you talking about. Smoke. Like, nigga, come on. I mean, we fire then, nigga. Like, come on. You gotta be fired to have smoke. That's why there's a lot of dope lyricists that come from New York, because y'all flip shit all the time. You flip it in conversation. You flip it in the bars. This shit, man. Can you imagine getting into an argument with a nigga like Fabulous? That nigga would be spinning shit around you all day.
That's what Jay-Z be doing, spinning.
Yeah.
Spinning.
As so below, so above. Jay-Z what? I come through twice.
God said sin. New Jersey women the same as New York? No, there's differences. I would say there's differences.
I will say that is a difference. Yeah, from what I've seen. You know, but I haven't seen everything of New Jersey.
Because New Jersey, for example, we're everywhere. We're in Florida. We're in Atlanta. Nobody complains about us.
Well, actually, you have a lot of chill behavior.
I'm just saying, let's talk about our neighbors, New Yorkers. I'm just saying, people be complaining about y'all wherever y'all go. Like, nobody be on the chat like, yo, that fucking person from New Jersey is a fucking bitch. They don't do that. They be like, yo, that fucking New Yorker won't shut up. When I go to when I was in North Carolina, nobody was complaining about me. I was at the library reading my books and minding my business. That's what I was doing.
Yo, man. Let me tell you something. I didn't know somebody was from Jersey until they told me. But like off the bat, it didn't matter what type of New Yorker. I knew they were from New York.
Yeah, and no, they don't be confusing a lot of New Jersey people with New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of us just be calm, you know?
Yeah, no, that is true, man. It's like, and then I'll tell you something, too, that's very interesting, right? Because I got a brother that works in law enforcement. So he said that when he had to break up disputes, right, and he's in the South. So he had to break up a dispute, but he was breaking up the situation with this dude. This guy was from New York. So the Southern cat, the dude that was from the area was like, he said, yo, hey, bro, get this nigga out of my face. And the guy kept saying, yo, what's up, son? Yo, what the fuck, son? Yo, B. And so my brother's like, whoa. That's just too much of action out here. You can't be in people's face like that. People get nervous. They start reaching for shit. Yo, son, why he acting like a bitch?
And we gotta be honest, it's just because Jersey's a little bit more calmer. Like, New York had more of the hustle and bustle than Jersey. But Jersey has some of it too, but it doesn't have it in full force like New York. Let me tell you something.
The only thing that beats New York with that energy is Nigeria, okay, or China. Like, no, I remember the first time like Sin took me to New York. I had never seen a fucking crowded city like that. Everywhere you turn, there's like 50 people trying to turn in different directions where you are. You go in the restroom, you gotta wait. You go in Walgreens, you gotta wait. I was like, God damn. And then we went to, what was it, the Central Station or some shit?
Like, but when we was in Houston, for example, I remember we met a woman a black woman, she was from Jersey. Nobody would talk to her and they were like, yo, you from New York? No. Because when I'm in places, I don't be aggressive like that. I just be relaxed.
Ashanti, she acts like a New Yorker. I can't see Ashanti not being from nowhere else but New York. You know what I'm saying? She's from New York.
Love got to do.
You know, J-Lo.
With it, babe.
Look how aggressive J-Lo was. She's aggressive New York Puerto Rican.
She is.
Brown-faced Ashanti's career. Just sat her big ass on top of Ashanti's career. I was like, what's love? God, I said, why is she singing that girl shit?
It could be about us, babe.
Get that girl her shit back. Got to do it.
Yeah, like, come on. You know Remy Ma will... Oh, my God. Imagine Remy Ma in Texas. Yo, I asked you for my order.
They would have shot at Remy Ma, man. They would have found Remy in the trunk of Texas. I'm going to tell you something right now. North side, south side, Houston. They would have found her in the trunk somewhere. Remy be doing too much in conversation.
Now, I'm not saying Jersey is perfect. Jersey does have New York elements. Like, remember when we went to the chicken spot? Give me my order. You know? So, you got elements of it.
He wouldn't let it go, too.
Although he could be a New Yorker that's displaced.
That nigga acted like a New York
because
sweetie.
because you know his cost of living is getting high, so he could have
that nigga
been
wanted his sandwich. Yo, son, I'm fucking talking to you. All right, chill. I'm gonna give you a search. That's not the fuck. Yo, look at me when and man, I'm gonna tell you something. That's the thing about it. They be like, yo, look at me when I'm talking to you.
Man, do that, Remy, when you be like, you done. You like your cat's done.
What did she say? Are you dumb?
Yeah, but no, when you was going like on a Nicki thing where she was like, you're done, bitch, you're done.
Oh, you're done, bitch. You're done. You're dead. You're dead, bitch. You're dead. Yo, like, look at...
cause trouble no matter where she goes. Yeah, because... Except for New York.
Yeah, because it's like, when you look at Remy Ma in conversation, dope lyricist, but like in the conversation... Like, you could tell...
Yo, who are you talking to?
There you go, right there.
Yo, who are you looking at?
Yo, you get on my nerves.
Excuse me, ma'am. I was just trying to... Yes. Thank you. I just left my bag. Okay. All right. I just left my bag behind you. Thank you. I just want to get it.
And then you know how... Look, and this is the thing about the dudes. They be like, yo, that's why I fucks with Remy. Shut up, nigga. Shut your weak ass up. Yo, I like niggas think they want that energy.
Until they have it.
Only Papoose can deal with that energy.
Because he's also a New Yorker.
Yeah. Only Papoose. Only that type of... Yeah, you do need, like, New York energy to...
It's like... But, like, Remy can't really fake shit either, though.
Nope.
Like, because when they was talking about the hair plugs on Papoose at the Breakfast Club, Remy kept staring at his hairline. That's how we knew for sure that he really did get plugs.
Yeah, that was fucked up, because I would believe a woman from Jersey would have played it off a little better.
I wouldn't have been looking at his hairline.
She looked right at it.
I would have been looking right at
nobody.
At Envy.
Man. Her eyes go look looked right up there. That's what you saw, her little big eyes. And then you can tell, like, Papoose ain't no lying ass nigga, because he's
like, damn, you know. Well, I gotta answer this question. Yeah, I got fucking plug-ins.
I should have kept the hat on.
I got the replacement hair treatment.
It's all good though, man. A lot of them niggas on Love and Hip Hop did. They got the tummy tucks and the hair replacement, hair plugs. A lot of them niggas go on Love and Hip Hop just get made over. Yeah, but New York culture, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but there's gonna be annoying elements regionally wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? You know, like shit.
Look, we're not saying all New Yorkers are the same. There are relaxed New Yorkers. Yes, Queen Latifah is one of them. Baba Daewoo, yeah. dope illustrator.
Hey, look how slow Nas talks.
We met him at We Buy Black in Atlanta. Cool dude, relaxed dude. So no, we do know and understand that there are relaxed New Yorkers out there.
Yeah, we just talking about the funny ones. That's all I'm talking about, because they always be out the face arguing with folks in the comment section.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. You're right. No, Queen Latifah is from...
she's from Jersey.
Yeah. But you have women like her who are from New York that's relaxed.
Nas so relaxed, man. His conversations be like ambient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lloyd Banks is relaxed. Yeah, there's a lot of little relaxed cats out there. But, man, when they get turned up, man, they get turned up. So it's just what it is. But it is funny... You know, when you see that energy, like Remy Ma's the epitome of it. You just see it. It's the same thing if you go to the South, man. Like, people got to understand, it's like, even when you go to...
I got some, come on. Y'all got some yuck mouth dudes out there in the South talking.
Of course. We already know that, but we know we got gumbo niggas.
Gumbo mouth niggas.
Yeah, because you may have some niggas that may sound like me, and then you got niggas that sound like something else.
T.I. is a talker.
What the hell you buy for? Well, goddamn.
Who would want to hang out with
us
that?
As black people? T.I., stop yelling at your Samsung device.
Let's be honest. Who would want to hang out with T.I.? But
that's why Tiny's at. T.I., please shut up. Don't tell me to shut up. I'm getting up. You know how T.I. is.
Say that. What the hell you buy it for?
What the hell you buy it for? Damn! We as black people, always like whoa, nigga. I got earplugs. What the fuck? You know? God damn! What the hell you buying for? T.I. is very serious.
Something wrong with T.I., man. Something wrong with that.
All the shit I've said and joked about T.I., I still would love to see if I can have an interview with T.I. and ask him some straightforward questions.
No, he gonna start trying to act tough.
Hey, man, I want to talk to you for a minute, partner.
No, he gonna go into that point where he be like, hey, bro, you know.
I know he gonna slow his voice down. I know he don't be talking to me.
Yeah. Wait till that when he trying to be tough and shit. I'm not interested in a T.I.
I wanted to trend.
Well, that's true.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something right now, partner. T.I. be talking slow like he's St. Louis from the Players Club.
Liz Martin brought up a great point. Why is T.I. hollering? Why does he be fucking hollering?
When he got because y'all remember when he got on. Look. Did y'all see when he did the Gucci shit? He was screaming because the nigga had blew so much money on that shit.
Oh my goodness, man.
Like, here's my thing about the European designs, right?
Can we refresh people's memories real quick? I'm gonna go to a pose. But go ahead, you can do it before I go.
Niggas be bathing themselves in Gucci, and to me, even on the European, like Versace designs are prettier than Gucci. You know what I'm saying? The design, the gold and the black shit. which is African pattern traditions anyway. But the gold and black shit, you know. But when I look at that Gucci, them what is it, the G's all up and down, that shit look like Motel 8 carpet. You know. No, a lot of times, even though I joke with these people, I like to joke about these motherfuckers, and I would want to have a talk with them too. I didn't like the way you was talking about me. I didn't think it was funny. Nigga, I thought it was funny. I think you're funny talking right now. Where's Iggy? What the hell did I support her for? Goddamn. Man, but it's you know,
Stop spending our motherfucking money with people who gonna continue to give you their ass to kiss. Partner? Why in the fuck you do that? For what? For what? The only reason Gucci had it because we made that shit hot.
No.
If we stop wearing that shit today, that shit tank. Period.
Partner.
Ain't nobody trying to dress like nobody goddamn in the suburbs.
Partner.
Ain't nobody trying to dress like them little white boys, man, them, who come up out of motherfucking Buckingham Palace. Don't nobody want to dress like that, man. They want to dress like us.
Your children dress like that.
Like us. They want to wear their shoes like us. They want to wear their hats like us. You know what I'm saying? They want to dress like us.
Yeah, boy.
We run this shit, period.
Bankhead.
So if they don't respect us, our culture, our heritage, then why in the fuck are we spending money with them?
I'm following you, partner. That's why. Nigga, you made a song. I put the shit on afterwards. And he talking about them suburb kids. T.I., your children are those suburb kids. Your child is not in Adamsville right now. Or Mechanicsville. What the hell you talking about, partner?
What the hell you buying?
What the hell you talking like that for, partner? Well, goddamn. Come on, man. Boy, I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all believe in these celebrities all y'all want.
God, my stomach hurt.
And the nigga gonna give us a time limit too, talking about 3 months. Like 3 months from now, we got Gucci money. Look at T.I. You can tell he a South nigga too. He dressed just like a Baptist pastor. Man.
Man.
When did T.I. stop talking like a Muslim?
I don't know.
He just went right back to the trap. He went back to I'm serious. You know what I'm saying?
All right, everybody. We definitely enjoyed our time with y'all.
We could have went on for another round. You know what I'm saying? What if I started getting into that zone like that? You know, would you be able to tolerate me? Because she be calling me gumbo mouth.
I wouldn't let it happen.
You know, you keep making me read books and watch important documentaries.
Yeah, T.I. reads a couple of things, but it don't help.
T.I. was one of them niggas.
He just become more ignorant.
T.I. was a gifted and talented nigga. He was a nigga that was in the gifted and talented program. He probably got an A in literature. He probably loved his poetry teacher. Anyway, y'all, we definitely gonna get up out of here. We appreciate everyone. I think did we have any people that did any donations?
No, donuts.
Oh, that was earlier today. That was earlier the other day.
I'll signal it when we do.
Okay.
Come on, blowing up our spot here.
What spot?
What the? You just blowing it up.
What the hell you talking about?
What the hell you talking about? All right, everybody. We love y'all. Peace out.
Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
Is that a challenge?
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
White folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
If he dies, he dies.